You know, this water looks really nice now. Gotta hand it to Trump. He did a good job. Whoops. Well, there goes my ice cream. I'm gonna jump in and get it. I can't leave without my ice cream. Here goes nothing. Shucks, no more ice cream. Oops, I think I went pee-pee. Hopefully no one saw me. I need to gotta find me an ice cream truck. You know this.
I think we solved it. We figured it out. We figured it out. What happened to the pool? We did it. What is this? What's up, Sharon Jury? What is this blue slip policy? The blue slip policy is what allows the Democrats or anybody in the Senate basically to block someone being appointed in their district, in their area. So like New York, Illinois, different states, the senators can block U.S. attorneys, judges, you name it, basically hold it up. That's what happens with that. Hey, Pat Hacker, great to see you. Great to see you. Sharon Jury, too. Good to see you. Lisa Day, what's up? Good to see you. Jonathan's here. What's up? How's it going? Jim's subs are growing. Yes, they are. Every day, a few more. 11 for 11 likes. It's good, good, good. Hey, Jim, the Senate needs to get rid of blue slip policy. Nobody's talking about it. Probably the most important issue not being discussed. They can't override it. All they need to do is vote on it. The Democrats do it all the time. They did it under Obama. Did it under Biden. They overrode blue slips for Republicans all the time. It's got to be Chuck Grassley is the guy in charge of the Judiciary Committee. So it's up to him to say, we're going to push it through. That's all it is. The blue slip just keeps them from voting on it in the Judiciary Committee. And all Chuck Grassley has to do is just vote. Say, no, we're going to vote on it. That's it. He refuses to do it. Him and Thune. None of your business. What's up? How's it going? Sylvia's here. Good to see you. H.J. Remy's here, too. And Lady Bama is here. Good to see you, too. And look at this. Muffin Rando was here early today at 2:52 p.m. She came by to say he, she, whatever, Muffin Rando. I don't know if it's a he or she. Is that weird? I don't know if it's a he or she. Kind of crazy. Beautiful Bella. Yes, Bella is here. So how's it going, everybody? We got a bunch of news we're going to cover tonight. I got a whole heap of helping news to talk about. Hopefully, we'll get to a whole bunch of it. See what happens. I want to thank everybody who's here. Please remind you, if you haven't already, if you're new here, to hit the subscribe button and like the channel. Hit the like button and press the subscribe or something along those lines. Do something. And as usual, we will start it off the way we always started off, talking about the goal. I know everybody hates the goal. I don't like having a goal, but that's the only way I can determine if I'm doing a good show or not, is whether or not people pay to have it continue. So The way the goal works is for every $100 in total that comes on across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble, Rants, becoming a member, or gifting a membership on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, or Kick, along with Locals coins, Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up, and when we hit 100, we add an extra hour. And then for each additional $100 that comes in, we add an additional hour to the show. So the show could really be as long as you guys want it to be. The show could be, the show could be like 2 hours, 3 hours. As long as you guys want it to be. I don't know what happened. My screen just got all goofy. Did something happen? Can you see me? Anyway, so all right. Wow, that's wild. Anyway, so that's how that works. And then we have, if once we hit 50, we activate Bellavision, unless somebody's so generous that an individual person gives $20. That's right. I changed it to $20 or greater. Then we activate it automatically. Howdy, thank you for your live. Thank you, Tulsi. You will be missed. Oh yeah, I'm gonna miss Tulsi a lot. I think she did a lot of work. What's up, NASCAR Mo? Good to see you. All right, you do see me. Okay, good. All right. Anyway, so what do we say? Let's get into the first news story of the evening. Let's do it. Goals active on YouTube. There's Bella. I'll take Bella down. Why sometimes my camera, I look so big, and other times I look so small? Hell yeah! What's up, Neil? How you doing? I see you, but I'm tired of looking at Biden. Well, we're going to get Biden off the screen right now. Developing news. Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to a renewed ceasefire after overnight strikes as Iran imposes new restrictions on ships in the Strait. Say it ain't so. How are they imposing restrictions on ships in the Strait? Oh. According to U.S. officials, Israeli and Hezbollah have agreed to a renewed ceasefire. Because, the one they had wasn't good enough, I guess. Hey, Brian, what's up? Good to see you. This is reportedly what led the U.S. talks with Iran and Switzerland to be postponed. J.D. Vance was supposed to lead those talks. He canceled his planned departure for Switzerland. So he's not going to get any of that chocolate. He can't go to see the CERN Super Collider. Gary Geets, what's up, man? Good to see you. The ceasefire was announced this morning after the IDF said they killed dozens of Hezbollah fighters in response to 4 Israeli soldiers being killed. Meanwhile, Iran's Persian Gulf Strait Authority, PGSA, has announced that all ships in the strait must have insurance approved by Tehran, despite the agreement to allow completely open, toll-free shipping in the straits. Like, if this is the shit the games are playing, if they're doing this stuff, then I guess they didn't say uncle yet, and maybe the bombers have to get loosed. Doc, what's up? Good to see you. Howdy, everybody. So here's stuff about the streaks. Look at this. Don't burn your No, don't light your money on fire.
With the way you zero in.
Don't do it.
Well, this latest ceasefire kicked in just about an hour ago. A U.S. official says it was brokered by Qatar, the United States, and with help from Iran. Now, it's important to note that this is not a retreat for Israel from these established security zones in southern Lebanon. And the IDF says that they have every right to defend themselves. And this comes on the heel of heightened fighting in southern Lebanon. Overnight, the IDF reported 4 soldiers were killed and dozens of Hezbollah fighters died. Lebanon reported 21 people were killed. This latest fighting follows an escalation in southern Lebanon after an Israeli airstrike hit Beirut right before the signing of the deal between the U.S. and Iran. Back and forth strikes have since continued, with the White House sending a message that Israel needs to moderate its response. The deal with Iran dictates an end of fighting in southern Lebanon. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei, released his first statement on the deal with the U.S., saying in part, it was the American president who, out of desperation, used all kinds of leverage to bring this about. President Trump responding on Truth Social, saying, we didn't meet out of desperation. Iran did. They are finished. We'll play out the 60 days. They get no money, not 10 cents. And now we're also learning new details about what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is now requiring ships to register with the Iranian government and hinting that tolls might be put in place after the 60-day negotiation period.
Well, that don't make no sense. And I'll tell you why that don't make no sense. All right, because no, if you're acting out of desperation, you have no leverage. So they're saying they used all their leverage. The only way you have leverage is if you're in a position of power. That's the only way you have leverage. So Garfield, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Netanyahu will sabotage this deal. If they do, then they might be shit out of luck. I mean, if they do something, they're going to have to pay a price if they fuck it up. Iran is making the rules. No, they think they are, but they can't be. I mean, how is that? That's an unacceptable deal. The unacceptable deal. How can Iran get any say about the Strait of Hormuz? I don't know. I don't know how they think they have it. Israel has taken about 25% of Lebanon. They aren't giving it back. Yeah. It's the dead gay guy. Yeah. Hey, look at this. American Dreamer says, Jim, I'd like to apologize for objectifying you last night. I value your brain and humor too. Well, thank you. But I have to say that I don't mind it if you objectify me. It actually makes me feel good. I'm shallow like that. Garfield, have you had your lasagna tonight? Oh, look at this. We got another $2. Here's my tardy slip. Well, thank you. And with that, folks, that means we are now just $88 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and just $38 away from Bellavision. Thank you all so much for being super generous tonight. Yes. Yes. So CBS reports the truce was agreed to following the deadliest flare-up in fighting between the two sides since the U.S. and Iran reached their agreement. Well, Wheezy Bob says, oh, now we know how you really are, Jim. Iran needs to stop this or they will be smacked more. I mean, that's what I would think needs to happen, Uzelian. I don't see how, I don't see, I mean, what does anybody really think the U.S. military, the most powerful military in the fucking world that's ever existed, is unable to slap the shit out of a third world backwater called Iran? Because really, that's what they are. I mean, yeah, okay, it's a big country with a bunch of people, but 90 million people or whatever, but they're still fucking cave dwellers that fuck goats. Come on. Sorry. The ceasefire was set to begin at 9 a.m. However, according to Axios, in the hour after the ceasefire was supposed to come into effect, the Israeli military conducted strikes in southern Lebanon and Hezbollah launched drones towards northern Israel. How did Hezbollah get the drones? Clearly, Iran gave them to Hezbollah. Yes, they do. See, they do. Last night, all parties expressed commitment to the ceasefire, but Hezbollah reportedly launched strikes on Israeli forces, killing 4 soldiers. I mean, that's the thing. Now, did Hezbollah do this without Iran's permission, or did they do it because Iran told them to? That's the question. And I would think that the intelligence would be there, that they would have picked the intercepted, because how are they communicating? They're communicating digitally, electronically. They're not like sending carrier pigeons from Iran to Lebanon, so they must have used a satellite phone or a cell phone or something to contact them if there was contact telling them to go ahead or not. And so if Iran told them to do this, the U.S. clearly would know that, and so would Israel. Trump is pissed. He went to Camp David instead of Mar-a-Lago. Well, maybe that means Iran might have to get punched in the nose again. Hey, CF Rob, great to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. So IDF struck powerfully 150 Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Uh-oh.
To revitalize our country, we must make it a priority to buy American-made products.
Interesting. Very interesting. The Israeli enemy has...
What if President Trump's next major executive order could create more millionaires than any event in modern history? Trump
What
has
is
been
happening?
dropping hints about monetary reform.
And gentlemen, and welcome.
What are you doing? Why would you do that? The Israeli enemy has intensified its continuous violations of the ceasefire, committing massacres and destroying residential buildings and civilian infrastructure, Hezbollah said in a statement. It has continued to land assaults through attempts to infiltrate and control villages and areas it was unable to reach before the agreement. Israel also accuses Hezbollah for repeated blatant ceasefire violations. I mean, I don't know. He hates Camp David too. Hey, Colfie, what's up? Thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, thanks for holding down the fort over there on Kick. That's why you know he's pissed, because he went there. You can't blame Israel when they're being hit with drones. That's the problem. Israel could lay down their weapons, but the others went. No, I'm not. Listen, Israel was hit with drones, but the question is that I don't know the answer to this, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but was Israel taking more ground in Lebanon after the ceasefire? Did they do it on the ground? I don't know is what I'm asking, because that's what some people are claiming, is that Israel was moving further underground, and that's why they got attacked, because they didn't stop. They kept trying to take more land. I don't know. That would matter. If that kind of would be a violation, wouldn't it, if they were taking more ground? I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying that's what the other side is claiming. Hey, Alan Sparks, what's up? Thanks for being here. Captain Caveman in person. I wonder if Camp David smells like rotting wood and depression. It's old, man. It's old. Might be stinky. Israeli forces announced this morning in response to Hezbollah's repeated and blatant ceasefire violations as IDF struck 2 Hezbollah command centers in the Bekaa Valley, 80-plus terror targets in southern Lebanon, and eliminated dozens of Hezbollah targets. Wow. Hey, hello, everyone. If someone came into your country and started taking your land, what would you do? Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't know. If they stopped, if they weren't advancing and they got hit with the drones, then that would be Hezbollah violating the ceasefire, right? But if they are advancing and taking more ground and then they got attacked for taking more ground, I don't know who's violating the ceasefire then, but I don't know. Whichever side violated the ceasefire should pay a penalty, in my opinion. Matter which side it is. So, a Hezbollah launcher fires rockets towards IDF soldiers in response of Hezbollah's repeated and blatant ceasefire violations. We struck these command centers. It's not a one-sided fight, is all I'm saying. Oh, I'm not. I agree. I mean, let's be 100 here and keep it honest. The Israelis are going to do whatever they can to get the most advantageous position as possible. We need to wait and see what Trump does, not speculate. Yeah, definitely. If Trump decides to start dropping bombs, then you know whose side he thinks started the shit. If Mexico is constantly firing missiles at the U.S., we would invade and take over Mexico tomorrow. Well, here's the thing about that, Uzelian. More people are killed every year by the missiles called drugs that are pouring into the country and the gang violence because of the drugs from the cartels and the trafficking of humans that come in and kill people and rape people. So Mexico is attacking us because the Mexican government is a cartel government. Claudia Sheinbaum is a cartel lady. Her whole party is run by the cartels. So maybe we should be invading Mexico. This is the launchers that launched at the IDF soldiers, according to this, but it's very blurry. Why is it so blurry? Israeli National Security Minister Ben Gabbard has declared that all of Lebanon must burn. Well, this is kind of crazy that we would say that following the strikes by Hezbollah. Camp David is 88 years old, 5 years older than Biden. Wow. Agreed. Okay. Yes, Jim, we should invade Mexico. Okay. We should do just like Patton and Pershing did, right? They'll be like, hey, where are you at? Hey, we're at Mexico City. Oh, shit, come back. You were just supposed to go to the border. With all due respect to the Americans, Israel must make it clear to the entire world that the blood of our sons and the security of our citizens are not forfeit. All of Lebanon must burn. See, that's kind of crazy talk right there. I mean, come on, let's be real. Saying all of Lebanon must burn, that's kind of insane. Enough with the ping pong. In the Middle East, you don't win with measured responses. You need to go berserk, to obliterate, to crush the terror. That kind of sounds like I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to attack Israel. Don't take me the wrong way here. I'm just saying that it kind of sounds like they might be the ones, like it's that thing, like, are we the baddies? I don't know. It says this post violates X rules, although X determined it's in the public interest. With the renewed ceasefire, will it hold? Let's see. It may hold with strong international pressure. So that's what I think about it. So that's what I think about it. It says not a retreat. Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire details revealed. President Trump makes them all sound like warmongers. Some of them are. Some of them are. What's this say? Why is it saying watch error? What? What is going on? All right, let's see what this is.
Now, the United States and Iran supposed to be kicking off 60 days of nuclear talks to further define the arrangement that would end this war. Vice President J.D. Vance was scheduled to fly to Geneva to oversee those negotiations, but that trip was delayed at the last minute.
And officials say the talks were called off due to ramped up fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. But now the two sides.
Hey, what's up, Chair? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Max Gordon is live from Dubai. Hi, Max.
Hey, good morning. Well, this latest ceasefire kicked in just about an hour ago.
Just about an hour ago. Why is Bibi looking to have his only real ally leave him behind? I think he is. I think he's getting pressure from the I mean, I don't want to call him far right, but like the hard right, the hard, like whatever you want to call it, in his in his cabinet and stuff. That they're like, no, we have to. Like these people are basically like, we have to wipe them all out. That's what the guy said. He wants to burn the entire country of Lebanon down because of some fucking terrorists there. I mean, you can't. Come on. That would be like if the United States decided out of the blue, like after 9/11, to just drop a bunch of nukes on Afghanistan, which I would have done that. I mean, I'd have been like, well, just not like in the, not like the whole country, just like the area where Bin Laden and people were hanging out should have just got glassed. But that's what should have happened after 9/11. But I don't. I trust the Iranian government as far as I can throw a 500-pound drunk from a bar. That's crazy. I don't know if you heard me, but thanks for being here, Jer. Good to see you. The hardliners. He's trying. I think he might be trying to appease the hardliners, maybe a little bit. You just got here. What'd you miss? Well, if you go back and you watch the beginning of the show, we got to the bottom of what's causing the algae in the reflecting pool. We had a video of the sabotage happening. Yep, we didn't leave BB. They're leaving us, and it's not smart. It's not smart at all. Hey, Kelly, great to see you. Good afternoon. Hope you had a great day. I had a good day. Good day.
A U.S. official says it was brokered by Qatar, the United States, and with help from Iran. Now, it's important to note that this is not a retreat for Israel from these established security zones in southern Lebanon. And the IDF says that they have every right to defend themselves. And this comes on the heel of heightened fighting in southern Lebanon. Overnight, the IDF reported 4 soldiers were killed and dozens of Hezbollah fighters died. Lebanon reported 21 people were killed. This latest fighting follows an escalation in southern Lebanon after an Israeli airstrike hit Beirut right before the signing of the deal between the U.S. and Iran. Back and forth strikes have since continued, with the White House sending a message that Israel needs to moderate its response. The deal with Iran dictates an end of fighting in southern Lebanon. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei, released his first statement on the deal with the U.S., saying in part it was the American president who, out of desperation, used all kinds of leverage to bring this about. President Trump responding on Truth Social, saying,
I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Because if you are not in a position of strength, you can't use any leverage to make something happen. You have no leverage if you're not in a position of strength. So That's not how any negotiation works. You can't use leverage that you don't have. And the only way you have leverage is if you're in a position of strength. To watch the members of our government root against ourselves is very treasonous looking to me. To me, too. I don't like it. A difference of opinion is one thing. What I've seen is not that. I've actually seen some people, in all honesty, that I was shocked from, like Juan Williams, of all people, who's like a weirdo Democrat, say like, hey, this is the deal. The president made the deal. We have to support it. We have to try to do it. It doesn't, this is good. I missed that. Did you cover the vandal was arrested? No, it's the video. It's a video of Joe Biden doing it. Joe Biden did it to the pool. There was something about a guy getting arrested, but I didn't really, I kind of broke late. We might talk about it later if we get past the goal. I want everyone to understand I am not against Israel. They have a right to exist and defend themselves, but I think they take it too far intentionally. Well, and I have a problem with the United States being called into the middle of it. I agree with you. You know what? They can defend themselves, but I mean, there is a saying that the best defense is a good offense. Hey, what do you know? We are now 78 away. Somehow I screwed that up, and from a first extra hour, and only 28 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much, America First. Dreamer, he got away with his walker. Yes, he did. It was terrible. That's what I mean. I understand defending their land, but this could help them too, and they can't wait. They've been under attack for almost 80 years. What's wrong with waiting 60 days is suicidal behavior. You'd have to go back and watch the opening of the show. I mean, it was Biden. It was Biden. Biden. He threw his ice cream cone in there, and then he went and pooped and peed in it, and he did it. You saw the tweet from the one of their cabinet members calling for Lebanon to be leveled. There are some scary people. That's what I said. That guy, that's the guy that was arguing with J.D. Vance. We covered it yesterday where J.D. Vance told him that he needs to shut up. He's like, you better knock it off. You're gonna run off your only ally. Don't know what to tell you. Yes, thank you very much, America First.
We didn't meet out of desperation. Iran did. They are finished. We'll play out the 60 days. They get no money, not 10 cents. And now we're also learning new details about what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is now requiring ships to register with the Iranian government and hinting that tolls might be put in place after the 60-day negotiation period. Back to you.
Thank you, Max.
We want to bring in Shannon Bream to give us an update and a look ahead to the weekend, because the ceasefire, as we know, they can be fragile. But also Israel saying, like, if 4 of our soldiers are killed in an attack, we're going to fight back.
Yeah, you guys know how tenuous this whole thing is. And so there is a ceasefire allegedly in place, but Israel says this is on our border. We're going to maintain soldiers in what we call this safe zone, and we will respond to threats as they come in. Now, how that impacts, this domino effect of the talks, we've got Iranian officials now saying what was planned in Switzerland, as we know, it is postponed, but they say that there are plans in the works for meeting in the coming days. So that sounds like they want to get this back on track, but this weekend could be, a very big conditional look ahead at what's going to come.
Absolutely. Let's play this from Vice President Vance yesterday on the issue of Lebanon and the friction and the fighting, obviously, with Israel. Watch.
So the Lebanon component, this is about regional peace, right? This is about regional peace. And what that means is we expect Hezbollah is not going to be firing rockets and firing drones at the Israelis. And we also expect that the Israelis are not going to be going wild in Lebanon, right? Both sides have to honor their end of the deal. Now, as you guys know, sometimes these ceasefires are a little messy. The President of the United States said this a couple of weeks ago, that a ceasefire in that region of the world just means they're shooting a little bit less at each other than they were before.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly true this morning, Shannon.
Yeah, and that's definitely how that has felt in that particular region. So we recognize Israel's right to defend itself and that it has threats on every border there, essentially. So that's part of it. But also you've heard the vice president and the president say, listen, Israel, when you're going to respond, think about proportionality, and we're trying to get this deal done. So can you cool it for a little bit? You remember, too, yesterday, the vice president had very pointed messages to many people within Israel saying, you don't have a better friend in the world. We provide you with defense, with aid. We're on your side. So
that's right. We are on their side. There's nobody's had their back more than America. So they should really mind their P's and Q's, their pints and quarts, as they say. Doc says, I think Bibi's a little too beholden to the city of London to speak that freely, though. Yeah, kind of weird. The toll is a violation of the agreement. It's supposed to be open fully. Yes, 100%. If Iran is out of military, how do they control the Strait? They didn't really control the Strait. They more of just scared people into it because they would occasionally shoot some drones and some rockets. They didn't have they tried. Anytime they sent their boats out to do anything, we sank the boats. They've got like small ships, like 24-foot boats, like little small, fast, like little motorboats, basically. I don't think people realize Trump is unique, and so can be what he's doing in the dreaded Middle East. Another president may not want peace or care at all. We are so dumb. We are some dumbass people, and I disagree. I don't think people realize Trump is unique, and so it can be what he's doing in the dreaded Middle East. Okay, I think I understand. Hey, Gavia raid imminent. That's cool. With Trump in many things, but this is ridiculous. Oh, what you're saying? What's going on? Okay. I'm glad Gad Sad's out of Lebanon. Yeah. I would just say that maybe. I hope they're not getting. I hope they're not getting played. That's all. I hope they're not falling for it. You know what I mean? That would not be good. Not be good to fall for it. Not be good. Not be good at all. So.
For those elements within Israel who want to come after the Trump administration now, there was very much sort of a brushback push coming from the vice president yesterday.
Shannon, let's switch gears a little bit because we still have these problems with immigration, and the governor of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, is getting hit by DHS for urging her not to release an illegal immigrant. And they said Sanctuary Spanberger can't hide the fact that she has turned the Commonwealth into a safe haven for illegal alien crime. And this is what she said, hitting back at ICE.
Wow.
They say your policies has made the Commonwealth a magnet for illegal alien crime. What's your response to the DHS and DOJ?
Unfortunately, there have been so many circumstances where ICE has had a detainer order out on someone, and they have not bothered to go out and get someone with a criminal history, despite the fact that they have a detainer order. So it is really detrimental and unfortunate that so frequently ICE is choosing not to actually take action on those legal orders.
That's bullshit because you guys aren't holding them. What are you talking about? Then they go out and they try to search for them, and then you guys have coordinating protests and stopping them. Zellian says proportionality. Someone needs to remind J.D. Vance and others of Operation Praying Mantis and what we called proportional. Yeah, I mean I don't believe in proportionality. I really don't. I don't. That's baloney. Like it should be like. They shouldn't be able to just trade like, oh, if we sink one ship of yours, you sink one ship of ours. Yeah. If only they were detained. Yeah, that's the thing. If only they were detained. Proportionality doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So Max Gordon reports on a renewed ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in the fragile talks. So all right. That's that. Now we got coming in. Hey, everybody who came in from the raid, thank you so much for being here. If you're new here, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate all the people coming over from Robert Gavea, friend of the channel. Really like the guy. He's a good dude. And it's good evening, Ken Krause. Good to see you. We need a new breed of reporter. Commies always lie. Yes, they do. So Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a ceasefire after clashes. They have agreed to a ceasefire that will begin Friday at 4 p.m. local time. So it should be going on now. Futures tumbled on the ceasefire headline, falling from 76.40 to 75.56. Well, that's not really tumbling. Ready to raid. Thank you all so much. It's not really tumbling. I think they're right now at, what are they at right now? Right now they're at 77.54 right now. So, I mean, they're not like, they're not tumbling. That's kind of false to say it's tumbling. They're holding steady. They're not really going up. They're not really going down. So it's interesting. The earlier escalation between Hezbollah and Israel increasingly looks like both sides were squeezing in last-minute strikes ahead of the ceasefire. If it holds, it sets up nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran. Talks between the U.S. and Iran were postponed on Friday in Switzerland, delaying what was supposed to be the opening round of negotiations to a permanent peace and nuclear deal. Like this is kind of, I was against this whole negotiating to negotiate. You're negotiating to agree to negotiate more. I don't like that. The delay appears to center on a new escalation. Tehran has insisted that the ceasefire in Lebanon is part of the interim deal, meaning that Hezbollah and Israel could derail the U.S.-Iran diplomatic path. You sound tired of watching C-SPAN of the old bummer Muslim church. Well, yeah, I don't like that. I hate it. I don't like that stuff. That's no good. So talks between them and Switzerland were postponed. Iran did not send a delegation to Switzerland for the nuclear talks because of the attacks that people said. The interim agreement signed by the U.S. and Iran on Wednesday stipulates immediate and permanent termination of fighting, including in Lebanon. Now, I don't know. Was that in there? It's about 4 a.m. Saturday morning there now. Biden getting abandoned on stage at the Obama Library was hilarious. Oh, but I didn't see it. Really? I didn't see it. You're talking about the that was today, right? They had the opening ceremonies. I saw some of it yesterday, stuff they did yesterday with the land acknowledgement. So according to sources, Iran's position is effectively no Lebanon, no deal. Israeli strikes across 10 villages in southern Lebanon killed 18 people and wounded 33 others. So Hezbollah attacked with a launcher strike, which this doesn't really, I mean, why is it so blurry? Don't they have better cameras? Then the Israeli security minister, defense minister, whatever his name is, says, that he reacted saying, for every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. I mean, that's kind of, that's not proportional. All of Lebanon must burn. Well, that's a little outrageous to say. With all the respect to the Americans, Israel must make it clear to the entire world that blood of our sons and security are not forfeit. All Lebanon must burn. Oh, you can't say that stuff. That's crazy. You can only attack the government of Lebanon is not attacking Israel. It's a terrorist group in Lebanon, which, from what I understand, the government of Lebanon has been trying to round them up and do stuff to them, supposedly, allegedly. Iran's delegation suspended his trip due to the ongoing attacks. A White House spokesperson later said J.D. Vance canceled his planned trip. Pakistani journalist wrote, Pakistan has called back its advanced team from Switzerland, throwing the next round into uncertainty. Tehran seemingly reluctant to engage at European venue. Diplomatic sources say Islamabad or Doha now must most likely be the destination for the next round. Oh, so why? Why would it have to be somewhere besides? Seems odd. Like it seems like it's a risk for any U.S. person to go there. So beyond the overnight fighting in Lebanon, the takeaway is the interim deal still gives Washington and Tehran a 60-day ceasefire window, immediately reopening the strait. The problem is now both sides need to control their proxies and allied partners. Tehran must keep Hezbollah restrained, while Trump must keep its Israeli ally from escalating in Lebanon. Without the dual restraint, the 60-day ceasefire would collapse. All right. And this is the next story is something some people brought up last night. And I said I had to wait to hear more about it. And well, more about it came along. So DHS is scrapping its $700 million migrant detention plan. This doesn't sound like I called it when this guy, I said, I don't like this guy. There's something about him. He seems like shady. He doesn't seem like, when he started saying stuff like, oh, we're going to just go after the worst of the worst. We're just going to go after the criminals and this and that. It's like, no, all of them. All of them must go. Now it looks like maybe we're getting sold down the river again. So the Department of Homeland Security is reportedly planning to jettison 7 warehouses purchased for more than $700 million. They're giving them to other federal agencies or selling them outright. The move marks a significant retreat from the high-profile immigration detention expansion plan launched under Kristi Noem, which I'm all for. Immigration Customs purchased 11 vacant warehouses over the past year at a cost exceeding $1 billion as part of a broader effort to dramatically expand detention capacity and support President Trump's mass deportation agenda. Like, you got to have places to hold them to get them out. Otherwise, unless we can just get them out, like as soon as you grab them, if we can just put them on a fucking plane and get them out now, right? The facilities were intended to be converted into large-scale detention centers and processing hubs capable of housing tens of thousands of detainees. They are putting forward my $20 million detainee pike plan. Yes, there is. Well, I did see one. Where is it? Let me see. Let me see, can I find it? I had one thing, which I was going to start the show off with, which is my good friend. Where is it? Here it is. Which is my good friend here. My very good friend here, Greg Bovino, saying that Vlad the Impaler was the OG Border Patrol agent of Romania. They called him ruthless and vicious, but he cared about his people and protected borders.
Hello, folks. Commander Bovino here. I'm in Romania, and behind me is a statue of Vlad Tepes, otherwise known as Vlad the Impaler, or, as in popular fiction, Dracula. Something that Vlad Tepes did that I find very inspiring is he was the original border patrol, if you will, of Romania. He took care of his people. He took care of his people against invaders, whether they were those Turkish Muslim invaders or anyone else that wanted to do bad things to his people. He did something about it. Remigration and mass deportations along the same lines. We take care of our people. We care about our people. We love our country. We love our traditions and our culture. Hello, folks.
Wow. Man, can we get this guy? Why isn't this guy running DHS? Why isn't he in charge of DHS? This is who should be running DHS, this guy. So Gundam says the Lebanese government half-assed disarming Hezbollah and arresting violators. Then Hezbollah threatened to unleash a civil war, so very little done. So what are we going to do? We're going to have to get the Syrians to go in there? We're going to have Al-Qaeda go in to clear out Hezbollah? Trump doesn't have a mass deportation agenda, Jim. He doesn't. That's what I voted for, though. I voted for mass deportation. I voted for that. That's what I voted for. Huh. People that walk around with a bum beard are usually libtards. Okay. Beirut is twice as densely populated as New York City. Oof. How much for a mobile trebuchet? I don't know, but can we get one? Can we get maybe I should have a fundraiser for one. What do you mean by mass, Jim? I mean everyone, all of them, every illegal alien, everyone. Everyone. I mean, maybe you can't get everyone out of the country, but you can try. You could give it an A for effort, the old college try to get them all out. I don't know. Pikes in the ass work 100% of the time when you put the pikes on the borders as a warning. That's true. Vlad did to the Turks what he watched them do to Christians and such as a child while being a political prisoner. That is 100% true. Impaling used to be very popular. Yeah. I mean, for Pride Month, wouldn't that be good for Pride Month? Bring back impaling? I mean, they like to impale themselves, don't they? Just saying. America, fuck yeah. Kicking the shit out of everyone. America, fuck yeah. Need a video sound booster. He's whispering like a mouse versus your volume. Is he really? I'm sorry. I thought I cranked it up. Because they all learned how to lie. Oh, that's terrible. Takia. Syrians will just kill Christians and the Druze. That's probably what would happen, though. I voted for Operation Wetback 2.0. It was good enough for Ike and the American people back then. It's good enough for America today. That's right. Ike was able to get out every illegal alien in the country at the time, which was almost 1 million people or something like that in like 6 months. They were all gone. And he didn't have Border Patrol. He didn't have all the stuff. He used the military. They rounded him up and tossed him across the border like, cha-chung, get out. Christy Nome was gotten rid of because she was doing too much. That's what I'm starting to think. Don't mind me, I noticed. What are you talking about, Jet? Hey, holy shit, my shit stinks. What's up? How you doing? Great to see you. Yep, they all leered. They did. Observe people, learn a little something. I'm observing. I'm observing and reporting. The BS of deporting only the worst is not what I voted for. I voted for all to be deported. That's what I'm saying. Me too. All. Ike was moderate back then. Yes, he was. Comment section, welcome. I don't know, Dr. Meganauts, I don't know what that means. They may be consolidating facilities to Florida and Texas, two friendly states. I heard that this fucking clown, Mark Wayne Mullen, was the one trying to close down Alligator Alcatraz. Joe, we are on the same wavelength. Yeah, me too. Good to see you too. Yes. Camarilla supporters have a TikTok fad dance of Stab Austin they like impaling. Yeah, I saw that. And the problem is that we as a country don't have balls anymore. We had somebody with balls, and unfortunately, she was a woman named Christy Nome, and they got rid of her. Yeah. And Greg Bovino, He was doing the work. And look what they did. However, documents obtained by New York Times shows that ICE now plans to offload 7 of the properties located in Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Utah, and New Jersey. The agency is expected to either transfer the sites to other agencies or sell them outright. Let's say Wall Street Journal, New York Times. DHS scraps $700 million migrant detention plans. Oh, yeah, this is good. Yeah. Harmy Dillon stepped in about the whole thing. We have going to talk about a little bit of that stuff. But so the Department of Homeland Security is planning to jettison 7 warehouses. This is not the New York Times. This is off the press. So that's the story from them. My issue with Noam was her cosplay. Noam had to go because of her hubby. Ike didn't have judges blocking everything. That's true. Alcatraz official closure reason is fear of tropical storms or hurricanes would pose a safety hazard to staff and detainees. Why? You can see the hurricanes coming. You just get everybody out. You just move them. They do that with stuff all the time. ICE plans to sell the warehouses in Salt Lake and 6 other cities.
Has buying life insurance ever felt threatening?
Anything can happen.
It's completely threatening. I can't stand trying to buy life insurance. It drives me nuts. Like, except for I have a plan from, what's it called?
Welcome to 2 News at 10. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security moving away from plans to use a massive warehouse on Salt Lake City's west side as an immigration detention facility.
KUTV's Annika Johns joins us live tonight with a look at what we do know and also how local leaders are responding. Annika.
Yeah, good evening. So just behind me here is that building that DHS planned to use for an immigration and customs enforcement detention center. But according to the New York Times, they no longer want it.
Oh.
Nestled in an industrial zone of Salt Lake City, the 833,000 square foot warehouse DHS purchased for almost $150 million might be back on the market. Reporting from the New York Times suggests the current Homeland Security Secretary, Markwayne Mullin, does not support the warehouse plan, which was an initiative from its previous secretary, Kristi Noem, so the agency plans to offload several warehouses. The reporter of the story posted on X the locations, some in Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
I mean, what do they plan on doing, though? If they're not going to have the places to hold the people, what are they going to do? I don't get it. What's the plan? What's the fucking plan? Google kills people, probably. A Department of Homeland Security document outlines the new plans for an ICE detention center in the town of Marana, including an estimate that can hold 1,300 people. Well, that's not enough. They need to hold like 130,000 people. Maybe you know what they need to do? Marana, Arizona. They just need to open up tent camps. That's what we need to do. Like, they need to put Joe Arpaio in charge. Guys, remember Sheriff Joe? They used to just put in the middle of the desert. They put the tents and be like, well, you guys can try to run, but you're not going to make it out the desert. Yes, please, everyone hit the like button and support Jim. That would be nice. Don't confuse Gabbard with Noam. I'm not. What happened to all those Walmarts Obama was going to use as re-education camps? A good question. Alcatraz can transfer all the detainees to Homestead Air Force Base in hours if a hurricane approaches. Smells like bullshit excuses to me. That's what I'm saying. Mullen treated the facility as something DHS might use as a surge capacity, even though he recognized it could be taken offline temporarily for weather emergencies. That's from the Daily Beast. I don't know what this T. Edagavina Beaches. I don't know what that means. That's some language I don't speak, maybe. My plan is to send them to Puerto Rico. My plan is to send them ask Puerto Rico. Unless they are stuffing X-130s around the clock at the detention center. Maybe you're talking about like C-130s. If they're stuffing C-130s and send them, C-130s. Okay. Yeah, that would be the thing. Yeah. Some Galaxies, some Globemasters, pack them. The plan is to reelect as many commies as possible and continue as normal. Well, that's what's starting to seem like that's what's going on. He dressed all the inmates in pink too. Yeah, we could do that. Give them nice pink clothes. Nice pink clothes.
Salt Lake City. I briefly spoke to the mayor's office after word of the potential sale started circulating online. In a statement, they said right now they have no information from DHS regarding whether or not the Salt Lake City warehouse will be sold and can't comment further. The Salt Lake County Mayor's Office said something similar. The only information they have is what's been posted online. And due to being in an active lawsuit with the federal government over the warehouse, they will not comment. KUTV reached out to DHS to see if we can confirm the sale. In a statement they sent to our newsroom, they said in part, DHS is moving swiftly to utilize existing detention spaces with our state and county partners.
Now, if you are interested in reading DHS's full statement, visit our website at KUTV.com. And then, of course, we are going to keep a close eye on any developments with this story and bring you those updates both here on air and then again online at KUTV.com. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Annika Johns, KUTV 2 News.
All right, Annika, thanks very much. 10 days.
Wait, you're saying Witkoff is off to Switzerland to meet with Iran? I just read a story that says Iran wasn't going, that they wanted to meet somewhere else. I don't know if that's true. That's great. The news feed is really low volume. I'm going to have it.
Salt Lake City and County filed a joint lawsuit against DHS and ICE over plans to convert the warehouse into a detention facility. The lawsuit argues that federal officials failed to follow a required review and notification process for purchasing the site. DHS bought the warehouse earlier this year and planned to house as many as 10,000 illegal immigrants there. City and county attorneys argued the facility would strain infrastructure, public safety, and other local resources. To read more on that lawsuit and why County Council Republicans questioned the filing, just go to KUTV.com.
Now, DHS mentioned reverting to a plan using already existing jail space. During the Biden administration, ICE was working to identify spaces that could be used in Utah. The old Weber County Jail and Daggett County jails were discussed. Our KUTV sources saying that they were issues raised at the time with both over location. Weber, because of the busy nature of that area, and Daggett, the newer option, a long drive to transport those detainees.
Why would we do anything? Biden wasn't planning on holding anybody. That makes no sense. Hey, Maxie, how you doing? It says, I live in a small town in Indiana. Frontier Cable had 2 Nigerians in front of my home installing lines. They were driving and spoke no English. My neighbors had to call their supervisor. Why are they working? How are they working? What the fuck, man? Why? This is why kids can't get jobs here. No jobs in the summer anymore because all these illegals are here taking all the jobs. They are already blaming their failure on the American people not having enough will to suffer from gas prices. Who's blaming it? Our administration is, or who's blaming? I say Guantanamo Bay because it's hard for protesters to get there. Eminent domain. They should just be taking all the stuff in eminent domain. Yeah, who is blaming who? Your opinion is JD. In your opinion, is JD rude to Netanyahu? I don't think he was rude to Netanyahu at all. What do you mean? He's just telling him to knock it off. We had about 1,000 illegals at Fort Bliss, and we could have another 1,000 in hours if needed. We have plenty of facilities. Mark Wayne needs to get his ass going. I'm getting closer to Black Pill every day. Me too. Alcatraz is a great spot. Sure, could be. Your government at work. Snafu. Yeah. Situation normal. All fucked up. We're not in the feelings business. He'll get over it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like serious business. You know. Hey, what? How you doing? Just finishing work. Well, thanks for being here. Iranian telegram apparently full of people promising hell on earth for any regime members caught shaking hands with the murderers of the supreme leader. Oh, who murdered them, though? That's the thing. They could try. You know. I guess I should say using it as an excuse to stop fighting Iran. You're saying our administration is? That's what our administration is doing, the Trump administration? That's not a very smart move. I say cut off all foreign aid, let them find for themselves. It could work. Yes, the administration. No, that's not good. Not good. At Alcatraz, Newscomb would give them all boats, probably. Fend for themselves. Yeah, fend for themselves. That's what I was hearing from different channels. Okay. Hey, Red, how you doing? Great to see you with your beautiful smile. America is so indoctrinated, it's pitiful. Wow, it is. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So, new report details plans by them to dispose of the warehouses. This is Mark Wayne Mullen being a cuck. in my opinion. It's my opinion. He's cucked by the demon rats. Salt Lake County Republicans question lawsuit filed against the ICE facility. Who filed the lawsuit? Oh, Salt Lake City did that thing. Where's Bella? Bella's here. Bella is here, but the goal for Bella hasn't been met yet, unfortunately. We will hear a lot more tonight from Trump, the 14 things in the agreement. I hope so. I haven't heard Trump say that. I haven't heard Trump say that either. So these are Romulus, Michigan, Social Circle, Georgia, Flowery Branch, Georgia, Hamburg, Pennsylvania, Tremont, Pennsylvania, Salt Lake City, and Roxbury, New Jersey. Hey, night at the Roxbury. Kurds also doing a lot of "we told you so" to Iranian dissidents. What they told them, they stole the guns. Is that what they told them? 15 to 20 million, 50,000 per day to return all in a year. That's what needs to happen, Jeff. 50,000 a day. Just get them out. Move them on. Head them up. Move them out. Head them up. Rawhide. Ride them in. Ride them out. Ride them in. Rawhide. He did go to Camp David and not Mar-a-Lago. Well, that might mean something's going to happen. Peer pressure. Put up the Cash App. The Cash App is up there on the screen. It's always up there. I'll put up the PayPal too for someone else. See, there's PayPal too. Something, anything. Lurch Linger, what's up, buddy? That's right. Tap that like button. Yeah, Catapult. We get a lot out by Catapult. We should send Tesla Ubers with cash to self-deport. There you go. I believe this is Friday. Yes, it is. They're getting eager to find excuses. Gas prices, midterms are easy. Well, here's the thing. You're old. You need the link. Oh, okay. Well, the link is pinned in the chat. It's the pinned message in the chat is the link. But here, I'll put it in there again for you. There you go. Ready? I'll put it in there again. All the Cash Apps there. The PayPal's there. See, look, it's all there. Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, Super Tips. They're all there. It's all there. ICE planning to offload all the warehouses. So that sucks. All right, on to this next story. I don't know if you guys heard, but the city of Los Angeles, the city council of Los Angeles has now they're going to let people vote supposedly on letting illegal aliens vote in Los Angeles. So Hank says, I knew they wouldn't pass the SAVE Act until after the midterms. I don't know if at all. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with that. Makes no sense to me. Yeah. Now they're demanding to be allowed to vote in federal elections. Yeah, that's what they're going to say. It's unconstitutional. I believe so. They need all the illegal votes. Yeah, they do. It's their plan. The LA City Council voted 10-5 to allow non-citizens to vote in the city and school board elections. What's this say? Vandals. Oh, yeah. Okay. City of Los Angeles is profoundly shaped by illegal aliens. We have to let them vote. Yes. Well, the city lacks authority to halt immigration enforcement. Well, that's what they would like to do. They would like to keep them all there. You only need one full demon rat to break that one 6 months later. Did you get it? I did. Oh, look at that. Wow, with that, $20 from iRule means that we have Bellavision for the evening. Thank you so much. And that also means that now we are just $58 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. So thank you so much, iRule, for the 20 on Cash App. Oh, and then I got another 5 on Cash App, too. Oh, what do you know? Well, thank you, Lurch Linger, for the 5 on Cash App. That means we are now just $53 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you, Lurch Linger, and thank you, iRule. iRule came in clutch with the 20 spot for Bellavision. That's right, Bella. They don't allow voter ID, so how would they know the difference anyway? Yeah. Hit the thumbs up, peeps, and have a great evening. That's right. Please, Critter Sitter says. Critter Sitter says, Critter Sitter does. Critter Sitter does. That's right. Bella, get an iRule TV. Yeah, there you go. Bella. So that's what they're going to do. That's what they want to do. That's what their plan is. Non-citizen voting cheapens citizenship. That's what it does. That's what it does. Wow, we got Ank with a gifted membership. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means with that gifted memberships, we are now just $47 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much for that. And let's see who got it. It says that Jeff and Sav won. Jeff and Sav, whatever it is, got a gifted membership from Ank. Thank you all. So much. Yes. All right. He's right here. He goes, wow, thank you so much. Hey, we aim to please around here. All right. What does it say? Those are video headlines that I'm not really interested in. So LA City Council decided Thursday to put a ballot initiative before the voters. If passed, it would allow non-citizens to vote in local elections. And I'm sure they'll just stuff mail-in ballots full of shit to make this pass. That's what they'll do. It's a terrible idea that cheapens the privilege of citizenship and dilutes the votes of U.S. citizens. The question of whether non-citizens voting is even legal or constitutional remains an open one. It is true that non-citizens have been allowed to vote at various points and places in American history. But for the past century, voting has been strongly linked to citizenship. In fact, one of the most important privileges of citizenship and an important incentive for people to emigrate legally and study for the citizenship exams is the right to vote. It is illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections, and no state allows non-citizens to vote in state elections either. Yeah, I think they're gonna try though. Will non-citizens vote on if they can vote? I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. What is this? Canadian 1750? What does that mean? Okay, they had a guy give 750 gift memberships on Dell's Parts People stream a couple days ago. Really? That's insane. I didn't think you could even do it like that. Did I make plans for OLP yet? Off-label podcast? No, not yet. I'm going to try to work something out, and maybe I'll try to work something out with them for next Thursday. Maybe I'll do a next Thursday show at 7 and like do like a crossbreed show with them or something. Maybe Quizlings, all Quizlings. You ain't kidding. What's the garden without Adam and Eve, Dumbo? What's heaven without people? Just felt like saying. I don't know what that means. Any country can just come over and vote. Yeah. Yeah, the most I've ever seen on YouTube is 50 at a time. It's crazy. It's Dr. Sonic. It's crazy. I mean, believe me, I'd be happy if somebody donated 50 to my channel. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Some states even leave room for municipalities to set their own rules for local elections. California is one of them. Gavin Newsom and the Demon Rats in Sacramento cracked down on Huntington Beach for requiring ID to vote. But if a city decides to let non-citizens vote, I guess that's all right. Just a reminder from the chat. What do you mean? What's a reminder from the chat? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. My brain is not working today for some reason. He did it 7 times. Wow. The partisan agenda is obvious. Demon Rats want to set a precedent for non-citizens vote in local elections, then argue they should be able to vote in state and federal elections. That would allow the Demon Rats to capitalize on their decades-old dream of using massive waves of foreign illegal aliens to swamp Republicans at the polls and to rule without effective opposition forever. Yeah, there they all are. They all want to vote. Let us vote. Let us vote. Let us vote. Demon rats are so insecure, even after defeating the one Republican who stood up to them in LA, they want to prevent any future Spencer Pratts from having similar thoughts. Your cussing is over the top? What do you mean? What are you talking about? But this is not a reason to allow them to enjoy the most cherished benefits of citizenship. That's right. We are just days away from the most controversial elections in recent history of the city. Many Angelenos have lost faith in the voting system, even if they have accepted the results of the primary. It's crazy. United States Postal Service stops delivering ballots, then posts ICE at election centers. Problem solved. You're out by the pool watching on the phone. Well, thank you, Irul. Thank you. Thank you. Do some swimming. The math isn't mathin'. That's right. It just ain't mathin'. Thanks for being here, Margie. Nothing would be worse for restoring public trust in elections than to hand the vote to people who aren't Americans. LA is also a sanctuary city, meaning that some non-citizen voters could be here illegally. Like all of them. Pretty much all of them. Let's hope that LA voters see right through this initiative. We can hope. Hope in one hand, shit in the other. See which fills first. Same thing here from Breitbart. Los Angeles City Council prepares to allow illegal aliens to vote. Councilman Hugo Soto Martinez claims that only individuals with some form of legal status, such as deferred action for childhood arrivals, temporary protected status, legal permanent residence, will be allowed to vote. Well, how would you prove that's who they are? That's just a lie. Nowhere does it say that. What's my thoughts on Calvin Coolidge? I feel like he's one of the most underrated, undiscussed presidents. I don't know that much about Calvin Coolidge. He wasn't president when the Fed got put in place, right? I'd argue that Coolidge, Reagan, and Trump had been the most effective at identifying the problem of the era and creating the most effective policies to combat it. Okay, I might have to look into more about Calvin Coolidge. Was he the tariff guy? Was he the guy that did all the tariffs and that bunch of tariff stuff? Anyway, interesting. So, yes, illegal aliens will now be deciding city elections. He was the first black president, I believe, of Biden. Yeah, but allowing ID, so it sounds legit. Yeah, like, how are you going to know anything? Oh, hey, look at this from my buddy Gino. Says, just paying mine and Max's head writer. Well, that's great. You guys had a great show today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. With that means, folks, we're now just $37 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. And I will tell you guys, if you don't know who Gino Biscani is, he's a very good comedian. He's kind of vulgar. If you don't like vulgar comedy, though, you can just plug your ears. But he's got a great show, him and his brother. Max Pete was on the show a couple weeks ago. He's was the history professor, history teacher, and very intelligent, very smart guy. And he puts up with his brother Gino all the time. Roaring Twenties gave a 4th of July speech warning about progressivism 100 years ago, this upcoming 4th of July. So Calvin Coolidge. Thank you so much, Gino. Calvin Coolidge gave a 4th of July speech. That's awesome. Oh, I got to fix the camera. Bell is hiding. Fad was Woodrow Wilson, evil son of a bitch. Okay. Yes, thank you for supporting the show. Vulgar is my middle name. Yes, thank you, Gino. We want to get married. It's just like the alphabet. People say we want to get married. This is nothing more than a thin edge of a wedge. Yeah, because remember, stay out of our bedroom. What matters to you? Leave us alone. And now it's the pride shit. It's trans and kids, drag shows and fucking libraries. It was always a lie. It was always just a way to get in. This is just the same thing. It's to let them vote and let them rule over us, to replace us. They told us, the Democrats told us 20 years ago, we're going to replace you. We're going to brown America. They told us what they were going to do. Why are we just forgetting all the shit they said? Because now they go, what are you talking about? Replacement theory? That's not a real thing. You guys are making it up. That's, that's xenophobic. And they said, no, you motherfuckers said that. You did. You told us that for years. And now all of a sudden, what's the meaning of Juneteenth? All right. At the end of the Civil War, right after the Civil War ended, all right, a group of Union soldiers when they got to Texas, finally, the Union soldiers got to Texas, they notified a group of slaves that, no, you're free now in Texas, because no one told them. And that's Juneteenth. It was on the 19th of June. But what everyone fails to realize is that's not like they say, that's when the last people found out they were free. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can use this thing called Google, and you can look up what was the last state to free their slaves. It was New Jersey, because the Emancipation Proclamation did not free any slaves in the North. There were still slaves in the North. There were still slaves in the North. All the Emancipation Proclamation did was free slaves in states that were rebelling. That was it. States that were still in the Union didn't have to get rid of their slaves if they had slaves. There were several states that did. Just saying. Wow, they took my chat out. I want to see if Trump leaves the U.S. with all these commies, or if he will use the Insurrection Act and clean the U.S. up before he leaves office. Well, I hope he does. God, I hope he does. God, I hope he does. Democrats want non-citizens to vote because they will vote for Democrats. The sad thing is Los Angeles has already lost. The voters in that failed city are more likely than not to approve this thing. Cloward Piven is their plan. Cloward Piven is their plan. Confederate states, yes. So we'll have to see with that. All right. We got this outgoing. We talked about this a little bit last night, but there's more news breaking on this, so we're gonna cover it a little bit. I'm gonna try to move fast through it because I know other people have talked about it, and I don't want to dwell on this too long. But outgoing National Intelligence Director has declassified a trove of documents exposing how Anthony Fauci funneled millions in taxpayer dollars to gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan lab. Hey, Doc says, happy Juneteenth, the day we celebrate righteous execution of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, June 19th, 1953, for attempting to give atomic secrets to Russians. Hey, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That is his true test to see what he does. Yeah. That's like the people of Cuba asking to be liberated to live in freedom like they've never lived before. Yeah. Did you hear, Joe? Did you hear reports that the Cuban government is now going to actually start opening itself up to the free market? I saw reports that they're doing stuff and they don't want to be communists anymore. Dwell, Jim, dwell. Okay. So the files allege Fauci worked with politicized intelligence officials to suppress the lab leak theory. Well, we know he did that. Hundreds and hundreds of pages of documents. They include intelligence assessments, internal emails, whistleblower allegations, and grant documents tied to COVID research in China. Like, where they really need some state prosecutors. I mean, if they can't get around the pardon, then they really need some state attorney generals to go after Fauci.
Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, declassifying documents that she says shed light on Dr. Anthony Fauci's role related to dangerous gain-of-function research and the alleged cover-up of COVID. Brooke Taylor has details.
Hi, Martha. In her final act as the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard releasing these pages that are really hundreds and hundreds of pages of declassified documents, which she says exposes the government's handling of their investigation into where COVID really came from. Well, I was just going through these documents, and they include intelligence assessments, internal emails, whistleblower allegations, and grant documents tied to COVID research in China. Now, Gabbard says their records show U.S. taxpayer dollars funded COVID research involving scientists at the Wuhan lab, which is a key focus of the lab leak debate for years.
Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives.
The documents also show government officials and intelligence analysts were seriously examining the possibility of a lab accident much earlier than many Americans realized. One 2020 government assessment concluded the conditions for an accidental release existed in Wuhan before the start of the pandemic. Now, the release also includes whistleblower allegations that intelligence analysts who supported the lab leak theory faced career consequences. Now, one of the most explosive claims out of these documents is that Fauci allegedly lied under oath during his 2024 congressional testimony.
The accusation being circulated that I influenced these scientists to change their minds by bribing them with millions of dollars in grant money is absolutely false and simply preposterous.
And Fox has reached out to Fauci through the Georgetown Global Health Institute. We are still waiting for comment, Martha.
Wow. Yeah. John Snow reports the Council of Europe investigations on manufactured swine flu hoax. The former chair of the subcommittee health accused the World Health Organization of lowering the definition of a pandemic in order for pharmaceutical companies to get their share. What do you know? That's in 2010. Swine flu scandal. Wow, that's interesting. Shit just keeps going on and on and on. So here, Tulsi Gabbard says, today on my final day as national, why didn't she release him sooner? I don't know. Maybe it took her this long to get it all together. I don't know. Would have been nice. Fauci was just following Event 201 script written by the WHO. Uh-oh. What's that say? Ancient marked artifacts. That's crazy. So here we're gonna let Tulsi speak is what we're gonna do, because this wasn't available yesterday.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to big pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. And we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized, self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Wow. How about it's time for some retribution. It's time for some punishment. It's time for justice. How about that? How about that? How about that? Yeah, he created 6 feet out of air. That's right. He just made it up. Just made it up. Yeah. As if our government didn't know. Our government knew and they covered it up. Hey, Jim, I'm driving. I just been lurking. Did the statute of limitations run out on Fauci's crimes? Here's the thing about the statute of limitations. Every time he continues a conspiracy or does other things, it extends it. So it's still going on because he's still lying about it and still covering it up. He should be living in a cell or at least on the streets. Yes. Yes. I think Joe gave WEF $500 million. Biden he was talking about. Oh, dear Lord, I don't hate, but him I hate. Yeah. They perfectly predicted COVID. No, it came from Wuhan Wild Wings. Yeah. My daughter was forced to take the jab even though her university was in remote classes. That's horrible. Everything is alleged. Yeah. I hope Trump admits warp speed was a scam one day. Ventilators killed thousands. Warp speed was a good idea, like to try to figure out something to do. But the problem was he wasn't getting the information. They were hiding information from him for some reason. Fauci will not be punished by man. Only a mighty can take care of him. But then I'd be too late for us to see it. Oh, it's the deep state. It's not us. Yeah. Plandemic, totally. Documents proving what everybody already knows. Media is a psyop joke. Did Fauci flee yet? No, not yet. He's got no reason to flee yet. Someone needs to put something on him. When all you hear is excuses, you're being bullshitted, period. Yeah. Fauci needs to be deported to Gitmo. True is not allowed. Who told Trump ventilators were necessary? They lied about it all. Yeah. Fauci knew about the efficacy and possible lethality of the Petri dish mask. Stops only droplets. Yeah, he knew about it because that's at first he said masks don't work. Remember? He was like, no, masks, that's stupid. It's not going to work. But you think all the people working on gain of function did not know what they were doing? No, they all knew. A lot of it was done through the army and other stuff. And that's why they set up labs in all these other countries to get around stuff. So should only Fauci be blamed? No. But No, he should not only be the only person that should be blamed, but it seems like he might have been the one, like, unless Obama gave him permission to do it, it seems like maybe he was doing things that were against Obama's, I don't know. Supposedly Obama said you can't do gain of function anymore. And Fauci did it anyway. Alleged my ass. Yeah. It laid it all out. Lots of folks didn't know about it. I'm in crazy California. I refused to wear a mask. I knew when pharma companies weren't going to release info for 75 years, it was all BS. Fauci does look like a mafia boss. He's the science. Trust the science. See, that's the thing. When he says he's the science, trust the science. Bane of shills, 100%. Yeah. Who's Bane of shills? I didn't see that. What's going on? Our economy had so much momentum and growth right up to when it all started. Yeah, that's what they had to do. That's what they had to do. Oh, it's the trans representative sentenced to 33 years. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one. I saw that story. They all championed that thing. They all championed that thing like some kind of monster it was. De Blasio was surprised that over 70% of new COVID cases wore masks. Mosquitoes versus chain link fence. Yeah. Taking a paycheck home twice a month to infect people of the world. It's crazy. Come on, man. Come on, man. He has a get out of jail free card. We are left with knowing he is a piece of shit. I already know that. It's no consolation. Well, I mean, Joe, he's not technically a state AG could go after him, a state government, and let it all out there. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to say you can't do this because government national secrets or something. Why didn't Mangione go after Fauci? Well, because Mangione probably has one of those Fauci, votive candles. I call scum, not alleged foam. The media is just BS. Okay. Word is the Tulsi video is AI generated. The vocal narration is not normal cadence. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard that about several of her videos, but that's bullshit. This came directly from her office, and she posted it on X. What do you kind of say, film, TV biz, that she's dead and they're just using fakes? Stopped well short of saying it was intentional. Research the difference between mucosal vaccines and cellular vaccines. Jibby Jad wasn't designed to stop the spread. Fraud-ouchie. Some of the most pathetic BS I've ever heard. Fauci was pardoned. No, I know he was pardoned, but the states, just federally though, but any the Attorney General of Florida, Attorney General of Kentucky, Attorney General of Missouri, any state could go after him, Attorney General, for crimes. Genes don't filter farts, but a mask will filter COVID. It was the bat soup. Ivermectin was found to be effective for COVID many years ago. Trump was bullshitted, just same as the U.S. Yeah. You've used ivermectin, but as a dewormer for your horse. Supposedly, it's like a miracle drug. It won the Nobel Prize, and it's like one of those required drugs to have for emergency. During COVID, we were ordered to get the jab, and I told my chief of staff to start my separation paperwork because I was not doing that. Same things he did to the Beagle should happen to him. Hey, Renegade Larry, what's up, man? Siwa Neto, Sebastian Washington was born in Mexico. Simply put, so now we solved why we go back to first American Revolution. I'm kind of confused what you're saying. But nice to see you again, Greg, with a different name. No doubt Fauci held stocks in Chinese masks. Remdesivir was given to shut down kidneys. Seems like it. Seems like a lot of stuff they did actually hurt. Obama said you can't do it here anymore. Yeah, well, that's the thing. He said you can't do it here anymore. Anybody who took the CBRNE class knew that all the facial covering was theater unless it was an actual filtered mask. Yeah. I think that stands for chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear. So Mexicans are the saviors for the new world, or Mexican Americans. We created America. Oh, okay, cool. Why can't you get your country fucking straightened out then? Huh? Why is your country so fucked up? That's America's fault, I suppose. States ain't doing shit. Statute of limitation, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know. You could charge them with deaths. Say it's reckless homicide or negligent homicide or something. I don't know. I'm sure in some form of government list, I'm on some government list, never wore a mask. Florida handled COVID much better than Texas. Yeah. Yeah, Florida, 2 weeks. That was it. That was all he did. And I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Add any countries that have extradition and path to prosecute within their law. Yeah, I mean, other countries could do stuff to him. You know, like other countries around the world could come after him. Yeah, she's completely AI, never existed. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why didn't Fraud Fauci and Lady Scarf Burks dispel the drinking, injecting bleach hoax? They knew it was UV light therapy used as a disinfectant. Yeah, and it works, and that use that all the time. It's crazy. Tulsi talks like that. Yes, she does. The bullshitters have so much corruption, and they cannot be prosecuted. They can divert attention away anytime. Methylene blue or DMSO? I'm not sure. Truth has been thrown over a cliff. Common cold, 1983. COVID common cold. New England Journal of Medicine, 1983. Wow. Hey, I'm the real Greg. I know you're the real Greg, but I think we have a new Greg. I think there's a new Greg in town, and his name is Renegade X. Lots of leaky roofs and unpicked strawberries in Mexico. Yeah, could be. Can international court charge him? Well, technically, the U.S. is not a signatory to the. It's not a signatory to the international court, so international criminal court, stuff like that. So it couldn't really go after a U.S. citizen. That would be a problem. Greg McNeely is 100% real, Jim. I know Greg McNeely is real. I'm talking about the other. Talking about the Renegade Liberator X guy. I believe is the Greg guy that used to be here all the time. That's what I think. Same kind of comments he makes. Boohoo says remdesivir shut down kidneys, causing lungs to fill with fluid, mimicking pneumonia. Fauci knew this in a 2015 Ebola study. Can't spell Hawaii without AI. Oh my God, you're right. Everything from Hawaii is AI. This is why they'll never charge Fauci, because all the countries that would be charged, including the U.S. PCR test was replicated 70x, unheard of. Could detect a cold that you had a decade ago. Oh, that's crazy. I have to look it up, what they renamed remdesivir. Jim Troll should have to super chat their stupid ideas. Yeah, I know. I have to. It takes me a while to identify the troll. Yes, agree. All right. So now Elon Musk says Fauci committed so many evil crimes after the release and the taxpayer-funded lab. Elon is right. Fauci needs to be behind bars for his crimes. Tulsi's a true patriot. Fauci committed so many evil crimes. As soon as a piece of fruit was diagnosed with COVID, I did some research. Wow. Yeah, that's what, remember they were saying all this stuff. It could come, like they were trying to tell you, like, oh, do this. It could travel here. It could travel there. Redhead Josie, the redhead libertarian, says Fauci appears to have been a mastermind behind a crime against humanity. His pardon for any potential crime was signed at the 11th hour by the autoped. This stain on the world needs to be investigated by a third party and adjudicated by the Supreme Court. In the meantime, other countries should charge him with bioterrorism, and the ICC should charge him with crimes against humanity, and the state should make his life a living hell with civil offenses. Kofi says, I knew they were talking about UV therapy in that press conference. I work at EVS in a hospital. We use UV light towers to disinfect the enteric isolation rooms. Okay. We are starting to see the depths of the influence and corruption of the scheme. All three-letter agencies, a big pharma, billions of dollars. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Can't put an aid at center in Hawaii because the Pacific Ocean will be evaporated. My husband's an Indian. His dad's side married my mom's side at the white side, was pissed. Okay. He's a bad dude. Yes, he is. My sweetie was mandated to wear a Petri dish mask. Simple bacteria, nasal infection morphed into pleurisy, and sepsis. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. Fauci used position of trust to murder people over money and power, pure evil. He killed many thousands over decades. Yes, that didn't just start. It didn't start with COVID people. I mean, if you look at Fauci's history, all right, look at Fauci's history. His first job at NAID, was working on something called the Tuskegee experiments. Yes, he was part of the Tuskegee experiments, which didn't have anything to do with people flying planes. It was the Tuskegee airmen. The Tuskegee experiments was when they basically were letting people get infected with syphilis or infecting people with syphilis, some say. I don't know if they really did that or not, but they pretended they were treating people, and they just wanted to basically like observe people with syphilis and see how bad it got. Yeah, that was Fauci's first job. They were doing PCR tests on truck bumpers in either China or India. I think it was India. Can't find the video. AI data center. Okay, I see. Look up Event 201, everything you need to know about COVID. Don't forget about the beagles. Oh, yeah, the stuff he did with the beagles. Yeah, syphilis. Yeah, syphilis was horrible. Yes, definitely, Greg. Sorry for your loss, man. That's horrible. I told my family if I got COVID, I don't want a respirator. That killed thousands. Don't forget AIDS was also him. Yeah, he also poisoned the shit out of people with, what was it called? AZT. Spy agency quashed a complaint against Fauci for lying to Congress about gain of function. Wow. Outgoing director Tulsi Gabbard released a trove of files detailing Anthony Fauci's crimes. Let's just say that his crimes during the pandemic, showing that officials protected him from a whistleblower complaint about him lying to Congress about gain of function research. The documents show that Fauci met with a group of CIA officials on June 4th, 2021, weeks after his fiery May 11th denial to Congress that he funded risky research into coronaviruses in the same city where the pandemic began. The pandemic. Did you block Renegade? How will I find out what Blue Skull is saying? I don't know. Great people in the chat. Let Jim stay up after this bedtime for only $37. Yes, we're an hour and 40 minutes into the show. That's crazy. I don't know. Did somebody? You probably just got a timeout, I would think. Who knows? I don't mind. Don't let them fool you. Oh, no. I shot the sheriff. While briefing the CIA, Fauci keyed in on specifics about the Wuhan experiments and pangolin samples, according to the summary report. AI's answer, there's no public evidence that Fauci was the only person aware of the gain of function research. I'm sure there was other people that was involved. The CIA is not supposed to operate in the U.S., but they do. It has to stop. Yeah. Their charter doesn't allow them to operate on U.S. soil. You'll be back. Thanks for the subscription. No problem. Thanks for being here. They made HIV inadvertently from primate samples. It's possible. It's possible. Who knows? They might have been trying to create something that boosted people's immune system, and they actually destroyed it. Dr. Peter Duesberg, first to map the viral genome, got torpedoed because he tried to expose Gallo et al. Over the HIV BS hoax, including the AZT. It was death. It's crazy. So he was particularly interested to work on pangolins, conducting pangolin samples. Another document said the meeting Fauci gave the impression he was presumably not tracking the pangolin research. It does not describe Fauci raising any alarms about research that he was funding. EcoHealth Alliance that modified at least 3 bat coronaviruses and found they become much more infectious when human-type receptors were added. And when Gabbard released the Gabbard released files did not appear to expand on what is known about Fauci's funding for the Wuhan lab. The release just comes over a month after Fauci survived the 5-year deadline for criminal charges to be filed against him for lying to Congress, though Justice Department officials are still considering how he might be punished for his role in the cover-up. And even AI said and attributing exclusive knowledge or responsibility to one individual is misleading and legally sensitive. Okay. They put respirators on people that blew their lungs out. Probably weren't cleaning them because they were afraid of catching COVID. I think COVID was the flu or pneumonia. Yeah, there was no flu during COVID times. One's wondering if anyone else is seeing all the chats Jim is reading. What do you mean? I'm putting them up on screen. Some of them are coming from other places. So I don't know. The documents make clear that Fauci is a criminal and the CIA knew about it and they all covered it up. Fauci highlighted important scanning samples. Fauci expressed concern about Beijing's quick, thorough cleaning of the Hunan seafood market, saying that, yeah, she needed to be in live chat, not top chat. Yeah, motorcycle accidents were COVID. People getting shot were COVID. No matter what you died of, you could have been in a hospital, all right, on life support for like cancer or a car accident or brain aneurysm, anything. They would just go, tested positive for COVID. They died of COVID. Many of the people died with COVID, not of COVID. Only half is being seen. You don't know. Really? Are you in top chat or live chat? Got to be live chat, or all chat or whatever. Not long after Fauci met with the CIA, the DNI received a whistleblower complaint that the country's top infectious disease official lied to Congress about gain of function, a crime punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Then DNI Avril Haines determined that Fauci, at the time president's chief medical advisor, should be referred to a fellow political appointee, HHS Secretary Javier Becerra, rather than the Inspector General. The Inspector General, Tamara Johnson, wrote that email to Haines that the complaint alleges Fauci provided false testimony relates to the conduct of gain of function, thereby misleading the American people. We determined the complaint does not meet the urgent concern standard because the false statement was made by a non-IC official and pertains to an activity that the ICIG has no reason to believe is related to intelligence activity. See what they did there? A week later, Haines' top lawyer, Christopher Fonzone, reached out to her about the whistleblower complaint against Fauci. Following up on our conversation, we have reviewed transcripts from some of Fauci's appearances. Based on that review, it seems likely the whistleblower complaint was referring to these exchanges he had with Rand Paul, saying the NIH has never, ever, does not now ever fund gain of function research. He asked him if he wanted to retract that, and he stood behind it. He wrote, I think the key thing is that what we've seen is consistent to the point that Becerra made to you is that this is something they've considered and that Fauci has point he's repeated about NIH not funding gain of function. We've thus updated the draft letter to the complaint rather than the HHS. So the Biden-era intelligence community usually followed Fauci's recommendations. The tactics used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Gabbard officially wrapped up her last day, teeing up Bill Pulte to come in. And supposedly Bill Pulte said he wants a list of everybody who works under him so he can fire a bunch of people. Many of the documents in question include assessments from Senator Rand Paul and other GOP critics of the NIAID director, National Institute of Infectious Allergy and Infectious Diseases. The files show Fauci advised the Weapons and Counterproliferation Mission Center and other intelligence teams on COVID. The document redacted specific details of Chinese experiments Fauci expressed unawareness of in the briefing. But he knew about them because he was funding them. Yeah, Becerra is running for the governor of California and the one responsible for Admiral Levine. Yes. Last year, shortly after Trump was sworn back in, the CIA announced that it concluded with low confidence that COVID most likely leaked from a lab. The FBI and Energy Department, which runs a network of labs across the country, has also leaned towards the lab leak theory. I mean, it's just, they were doing research on a fucking coronavirus. They looked at the thing. The people looked at it and saw like this right here, this crook, this thing is somebody messing with it. We should be calling it gain of lethal function just to be clear and more accurate. Could be. All right, on to the next story now. We got a bunch of demon rats in the Senate trying to stop. They're trying to stop President Trump from building this triumphal arch. One might ask, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to stop the triumphal arch? Well, they hate America. That's why. They just hate America. Senator Tammy Duckworth, who did something she wasn't supposed to do in a helicopter and crashed it. That's all I'll say about that. Fraudauci's wife was the head of ethics at the CDC. Yeah, it just makes sense. They all covered each other up. Do I need to talk to Greg? Which Greg? Greg isn't here. I mean, the other Greg is fine. This Greg is fine. It's the, there was another guy that was here, which I think was the other Greg. Yeah, why would they want to stop this? They're like, oh, Tammy Duckworth sent a letter urging the head of the FAA to stop President Trump's construction of the arch. She wants him, she's saying, don't let him do it. Stop him. You know, and it says that the proposed 250-foot arch to commemorate the 250th anniversary will be more than twice as tall as the Lincoln Memorial. Well, how much taller will it be than the Washington Memorial? It's not. So there you go. So why it's a big deal? Because they're saying like it's going to be taller than a Lincoln Memorial. Not, you know, yes, because they hate Trump. That's right. Oh, Greg H., he's not here. I don't see him. He hasn't been here. There is no Greg, only Zool. Yes. Duckworth wrote the FAA's internal initial review of the arch appears to have been expedited and raises questions about whether the president or his White House aides already improperly pressured FAA to prioritize rubber stamping it. It's not a vanity project. These people are so fucking petty and bullshit. I swear. Officials are looking to complete the edifice within 3 years, possibly requiring 20 hours of work per day and cranes up to 320 feet tall, according to a National Park Service report. Okay, and the agency said it would respond directly to Duckworth. The arch is close proximity to a complex airspace of Reagan National, where a U.S. Army helicopter collided with the plane. Yeah, it had nothing to do with buildings. It had to do with the fucking pilot who was a DEI hire and didn't know what the fuck she was doing. 250 inches or yards just won't do. It's feet it is. That's right. Yeah. That's what Duckface wants. Senators urge the FAA to reject the White House's bid to build the arch. Like, see here, you could see the picture, all right? You see the Washington Monument? The Washington Monument is taller than the arch, all right? Sorry, I didn't change pages. The Washington Monument, you can see it in the background. Yes, it's taller than the Lincoln Memorial, but not taller than the... Yeah, Duckworth lost her legs and a big chunk of her brain. Yes. Viva Fry had Dr. Jessica Rose on the stream explaining how COVID was unequivocally man-made. I agree. I concur. But this is ridiculous. Like, what is the problem? You know, the Washington Monument is tall as hell, man. It's got elevators in it and everything that go up. It's big. I think that's 450 feet tall, if I'm not mistaken, the Washington Monument. So it's like almost double the size of this. What's the big deal? What's the big dilly, yo? The proposed 259-foot arch would stand 3,000 feet from Reagan Airport. Oh, okay. These are just people just complaining and crying about stuff. One elevator. You don't like all the gold? The helicopter that crashed in that plane because the woke female pilot didn't listen and did not follow instructions. That's 100%. 100%. 100% true. So that's what they're doing there. Now we got this crap going on. Did you guys know that the Democrat socialists are surging in mayoral races across the U.S.? That's right. The commies are on the march. The commies are on the march. Commies are on the march. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on with the commies. I mean, how could these commies How can these commies keep doing all this stuff? It's nuts. It's nuts. I don't get it. I don't get it. Uh-oh. I screwed up. My bad. My bad. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. Mm-hmm. The problem is it's Trump's idea, so the children and the Demon Red Party must be against it. Yeah. The Washington Monument is bigger than it looks on TV. I think it's 450 feet tall. Why would the FAA be concerned? Isn't DC already restricted airspace? It's just something they're trying to find any way they can to stop it. Supposedly, please stand by boomer issues. Yeah, Trump is going to use our taxes to rebuild Iran so they can attack the U.S. more. Supposedly, none of our tax dollars are going for that, Hank. They're claiming that all that money, any of the rebuilding money is going to come from like Qatar and the UAE and the countries around their neighboring countries, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Gulf states. Supposedly. I don't know. Yeah. Janice, yeah. As Janice Lewis George paves the way for mayor's office in D.C., she's told voters they could have it all. Oh, they could have their cake and eat it too. Going to first hour on me. Don't know what that means. Oh, I guess.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion.
Let me ask you a question.
Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you so much, Brian, for that. On PayPal, Brian gave $37, so that means we are now $100 away from adding a second additional hour. Thank you so much, everybody. Wow. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody else. It was awesome. Thanks, Brian. Yes. No early bed for you. It's fine. I got to wear gloves. Got crazy heat rash from 50 hours. Oof, man. That's terrible. Of course, tax money will be used. Maintenance, security, etc. will be tax funded. You're talking about on what? For rebuilding Iran or building this monument? Wonder why the UAE would pay to rebuild Iran. I don't know. They all agreed to it, supposedly. I got the PayPal. Yes. Thank you so much. I got it. That's why we've just got the extra hour. Thanks to Brian on PayPal. Thank you. Thank you so much. On the arch? Well, the arch is going to be built with tax dollars, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, the Triumphal Arch was already planned and already authorized a long time ago. That it was already part of a thing. It was supposed to happen 50, 60 years ago, but they just never did it. No one ever had the balls to do it. People are tired of hearing what governments can't do. They want to hear what government can do. That's what she said. She defeated her Democrat opponents and positioned herself to win the general election. Lewis George's victory signals a break with a quarter century of centrist governance in Washington. Wait a minute. They're calling the government of Washington centrist. They're calling Marion Barry. They're calling what's her face that was just in there. Wow, that's crazy. Renee Collins, what's up? Great to see you. What will the arch point to? I don't know. It's just a passway through on your way to the Lincoln Memorial, and then the other side is the Arlington Cemetery. Yeah. Well, Lewis's victory signals a break, yeah. And have ascended urban politics. Last year, Zoran Nakami Mandami toppled Andrew Cuomo, the scion of a political dynasty, on his way to becoming New York's mayor. Katie Wilson won an upstate to lead Seattle last fall. And this month, Nithiam Rayam clinched a spot in the November runoff with Karen Bass in L.A. Wow. I mean, maybe the Democrats should think about this and stop letting these communists into their party and be like, no, you guys got to make your own party. You're not allowed in our party. That's what they should do. But it's all about power for them. All of them are members of the Democratic Socialists of America, or DSA, which part of the Democratic Socialists of America's plan is to seize the means of production, which is communism. Mm-hmm. The political organization has seen its membership rank swell from a few thousand to more than 100,000 nationwide. Oh, so how is 100,000 group able to do all this? There's little sign of national coordination. Oh, yeah, there's no sign of national coordination between these commies. Well, where's their money coming from? The trend of progressives, they're not communists surging in these areas, may have limits for its broader impact on Democratic politics. Democrat mayors in cities including Atlanta, Houston, Miami, and San Francisco won on relative moderate platforms. Trump's hardline immigration and law enforcement tactics have become a challenge for liberal cities. He said, we may take back Washington and run it on a federal basis. We won't put up with it. And we're not going to put up with a communist running D.C. It's just not going to happen. It's less about whether you're on the right or left and more about you're willing to punch up to the powerful. Whatever. Who said that? So that's crazy. Democrats, socialists are on the rise. Yeah. Communists. These are fucking communists. They're not democratic socialists. They're communists. They're fucking communists. Let's be 100% here. Fucking communists. Got to stop the commies. Stop the commies. Illinois is in good hands with Duckworth. She'll be the senior senator when idiot Durbin is gone. So leftists vandalized Trump's newly renovated reflecting pool by cutting the blue sealant out and writing 8647 on it. Man arrested. Wait, what? There's no sign? They literally just caught Antifa commies on a signal. Not to mention Blue Sky Commie Coordination. Whoever said that is an idiot. Yeah. Yeah. Charlie inside the wire. You ain't kidding. You got zips in the wire, zips in the wire. Drop everything on my paws. Wow, that's how beautiful it should look. Left-wing vandals have targeted Trump's newly renovated pool by the Lincoln Memorial, damaging the blue sealant applied at the bottom to maintain the pool's blue color. Democratic socialists, you mean communists? They are the gimme people. Yeah, they're the Gibbs me that's. UN is a good place for all the communist nations to make deals. Yeah. President Trump undertook the project to restore the filthy green water basin built in the 1920s, which has been marred by issues including sinking and leaking into the swamp beneath it. This is after the Obama failed project in 2012, which had a massive cost of $34 million, more than twice what Trump is paying. Obama's botched repairs took nearly 2 years to complete, while Trump's already finished. The beautiful reflecting pool was reopened with a glass light reflection earlier this month, and TDS-infected residents of the far-left city are losing their minds over the beautification. Yeah, like this crazy person. According to the independent journalists, a man was arrested after jumping into the pool and cutting out a huge piece of sealant. Sabotage at the Lincoln reflecting pool. Man arrested. Listen, all y'all, it's a sabotage. Listen, all y'all, it's a sabotage. Can't stand it, don't understand it. I can't wait this Watergate.
A man jumped in the reflecting pool today with all these crowds around, cut out a huge piece of the blue sealant, and tried to get away, but he was arrested.
Yeah, and they've had to put National Guard there at night to guard it and everything with lights because they just keep fucking with it. It's like they think this is nuts that they're doing this. This is just nuts. It's nuts what's going on, man. It's nuts what's going on. Totally nuts. Totally nuts, oh man, what's going on. Can't believe it's going on. You know, but if the guys didn't see it, this is the guy. This is the guy they caught, just in case anyone was wondering. This is the guy they caught.
You know, this water looks really nice now. Got to hand it to Trump. He did a good job. Whoops. Well, there goes my ice cream. I'm going to jump in and get it. I can't leave without my ice cream. Here goes nothing. Shucks, no more ice cream. Oops, I think I went pee-pee. Hopefully no one saw me. I need to gotta find me an ice cream truck.
That's crazy, right? That they would do that. It's crazy. I thought some other stuff too. Let me look. That's right. Our message is simple. If you defraud the American people, we will find you and we will bring you to justice. Yeah. It's a national monument. Dude is going hard. Didn't do hard time for that. I hope so. I hope so. My God, we're a nation of children. Let the workers get rid of the elderly. You ain't kidding. They're protesting. They're doing all this shit. It's just crazy what's going on. If you defraud the American people, we're going to find you. Kimball preyed on the elderly. Yes. Richard Kimball. He killed his wife, and he blamed it on a one-armed man. Now, as a direct result, the task force's partnership with the FBI to create the most wanted fraudsters list. Authorities sought Kimball for months with no action. But just 4 days ago after we published the list, the Philippines government helped track him down. He was hiding in the Philippines. He had some little Philippine ladyboys. Catching fraudsters is a priority of this administration, and thanks to our task force's hard work, one of the country's most wanted fraudsters will have to answer for his crimes. Just 2 weeks after this second most wanted fraudster's arrest, the FBI, task force led by Vance and the White House Task Force to Eliminate Fraud, Herbert Leon Kimball was apprehended in the Philippines, and he's now back in the United States. He's on a run since 2024. He stole $1.2 billion in fraud. $1.2 billion, this one guy. Thanks to Acting Director Todd Blanche, Kimball will face justice. President Trump set a mandate to end the abuse. That's right. We're delivering this guy right here. Richard Kimball. Doesn't look like the guy from the movie, though. What's it called? Like The Fugitive. Yeah. Thank you for your leadership. Yeah, get him. Check this out. This other thing here, right? MARTA, which is the transportation, they slashed police positions. I think it's the Metro Atlanta Rapid Transit Association, but kept their fully funded $1.5 million Office of Diversity and Inclusion. Average DEI staffer salary is $100,000. Average MARTA police officer was $51,000. Yeah. Shit. 11 Democrats control the entire budget for MARTA. Are you surprised?
I'm at the Midtown MARTA station here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have not seen a single security guard police officer in the entire 20 minutes that I've been down here. Do you guys know that up there, the gates are open? This right here is a major security concern, and this invites crime. No ticket, no security, just walking straight onto the platform. This is MARTA, Atlanta's multi-billion-dollar transit network, a system that's recently grabbed national headlines for all the wrong reasons.
New disturbing details about a deadly stabbing on a MARTA train this weekend.
Well, police say 25-year-old John Elijah Matthews is accused of stabbing a woman 18 to 20 times.
Yeah. That's the Bay Area Rapid Transit, right? BART, that goes from San Francisco, Oakland, around the Bay, right? Bay Area Rapid Transit. Don't believe the faux ignorance of most demon rats. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, they do. They do. Wow, life is rough, says my 54-year-old brother died from smoking lace fentanyl. Biden is responsible for 500,000 ODs, in my opinion. I'd say more. Oh, Marta, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Mark Edwin Webb says, Marta, moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta. It could be called that. That could be what it stands for. Maybe I'm wrong.
Times, and they say the attack was unprovoked.
Another act of violence at a MARTA station following two stabbings in the last few weeks, and one from the last weekend was deadly.
This time, MARTA police say they responded to a shooting on board a stop train at the Midtown station.
Now I'm outside the Midtown MARTA station and no security. There's absolutely zero presence of any police here. Beautiful mural of Atlanta FIFA coming into town, but they're promising all these travelers and to us people who live in the city that they're going to ramp up the security, the presence of police, especially.
So they're lying. They're lying. They're saying they're going to ramp up the police. They're not. They're not going to ramp up the police. They're going to let people get away with everything, and they're just not going to report the crime. It's going to be kind of hard to hide bodies. So maybe they made a deal and they told the gangbangers and the other people, listen, you can't kill anybody. As long as you don't kill anybody, you don't leave any bodies on the ground that we got to pick up, and we're just going to go the other way. Joe says, wait, what? A Democrat, people of color run city is shit? No way. People of effing color, as if whites are albinos. Pukey color racist freaks. They are. They are.
After all the stabbings and shootings that have occurred in the last month.
Now, even before this federal investigation was announced, MARTA was planning to step up patrols starting tomorrow ahead of the World Cup. Its plan includes longer shifts, more officers, and help from law enforcement agencies across the country.
There is no security anywhere at this station. This right here is a major security concern, and this invites crime. If I can freely get through this area without having to pay for the fare, and I can hop on the train, that means anybody, without having to pay any money, can hop on the train. And I'm going to show you guys that this takes me directly to the train rails where I can hop on a train. We're going to do that. I bought a ticket, so in the case somebody asks me for it on the train, I can show it, but I don't even know if they do that on the train. But I'm going to show you guys. I can direct access to the rail station. And here it is. Like I said, it's taking me out directly into the train rails without having to pay any money.
Well, that's probably because it's just racist to ask people to pay money. I mean, why, in a communist society, it's free. Nobody has money. You just take what you can. They take what you wait in line to get it. But I guess, I don't know, maybe that's what they're running a communist thing there.
And this train is messed up. They got one side closed, one side open. They have our back like
I just walked in here without having to pay a fare or anything like that, right? On that side. Is that always like that?
That side is, I ain't gonna say it's always like that because I don't know. Right? I don't work here. I'm a BMW. I'm black man working. Give me some.
Hey, good stuff.
The other side is locked though. See how that side locked?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's through there. There's a fair.
Going on.
You can see people do this on a daily basis, and he himself said it. I mean, that invites a lot of the crime here. We're gonna now hop on the train. The AC. And there's no MARTA officers or police officers on this cart. But just like that, we're back at the Midtown station. Realistically, we could have rode this train all day long, back and forth, through that entrance. Nobody cares.
Okay, Brian, thanks for being here. Love you too, brother. I'm tired as fuck. I'll be around this weekend. All right, cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for the extra hour. Really appreciate it. So, your hair might be black. Okay. Point it out. Okay. Get some rest. See you soon. Yes. My hair is not black. Okay.
Nobody checks. No MARTA officer, no police officer whatsoever on this train whatsoever. I don't see a single one in my.
Hey, thanks for being here, Bats. That's awesome. Thanks for stopping by.
Cart. In this cart, we don't see one. And as this train moves, let's see if you see somebody, spot somebody in blue, dark blue. Nothing. Do you guys know that up there, the gates are open and people easily get in and out?
They haven't replaced them yet.
Okay. I've watched so many people come in and out, hop on the train. It's been like that for a while now, or?
Yeah, it's a whole project.
Okay.
The gates. There's places where they haven't replaced them yet, so the old ones are open because the old ones don't work off the new fare system.
That absolutely makes sense. But wouldn't it make sense to kind of close them for now? The area, it's common sense.
It makes sense to me, but
yeah,
it would make sense to me not to have these two entrances at all.
Same way I came in, took the train, took it to wherever I could have.
So it's just more examples of crap going on in the city. That's just nuts. In 2025, they named their Office of Diversity and Inclusion Department to Corporate Compliance, 12 employees with $1.5 million labor budget. This is basically showing that where their money is going. They're spending on diversity and inclusion. In the same budget, they cut 35 positions from the Department of Police, 10 of which were permanent transit officers. So, yeah, so they're cutting police and they're spending money. You know, that's why people are being stabbed and shot on MARTA. They care more about virtue signaling than crap on safety. Yeah. Just protect people, lock up criminals. Professional baseball team. This is a little good news. A professional baseball team, the York Revolution, turns on their players after they were forced to forfeit after their players refused to wear the LGBTQ jerseys for Pride Night. That's right. They said, no, we're not wearing that shit. We're not wearing that shit. The Pennsylvania team threw their players under the bus for refusing to put on the gay uniforms. To be clear, this action by the players is completely inconsistent with our vision as the most welcoming place in York. The team's forfeit comes after the MLB issued a warning after the San Francisco Giants players wrote Bible verses on their gay hats. Glad to see players are finally standing up to the radical cult.
The park made this announcement late last night, saying this decision was made with, quote, great disappointment. They say some of the players refused to wear the special Pride Night jersey, so this game is being treated as a rainout.
I would ask the community for understanding. Running an organization in this way.
Okay, I understand now. This guy that's talking right now, who's the general manager, is a gay man. So that's why he wants all this pride stuff that he's trying to force people to do. That's what's going on here. Yeah, what is the obsession with LGBT? No one wears anything when I get laid. What the fuck? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that they're doing this. Can't baseball remember what happened to the NFL when they all kneel over Bud Light and promoted to trans? But this is because you got a gay guy. This guy's gay. Listen to him talk. I mean, how is it that you can just identify who's gay when you hear their voice? How is it possible? You're just like, oh, that guy's gay. It's like, what is it? What is it that makes him talk that way? Why is my camera off?
In this way, with these difficult dynamics, having to find a solution to these complex problems without a clean solution is a difficult task, and there's no good way to get everybody everything that they want. But our primary function as Wellspan Park in York, Pennsylvania, is to welcome the community in and be the most welcoming place in York.
And the Revolution says it will donate $10,000 to the Rainbow Rose Center, describing the contribution as a gesture of regret over the last-minute change and as a show of support for the LGBTQIA plus community partners.
Oh,
in the park,
the LGBTQIA plus partners. They have a slur in their voice because of what they put in their mouths. Wow. You think it damages their tonsils? Jamming something in there like that damages their tonsils. Yes, go fish. Craziness, man. Craziness. You must wear the ribbon. 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 Remember that one? LGBTQ. Look at that getting dragged down. Yeah. FBI director announces the capture of another most wanted apprehended in the Philippines. Oh, we saw that he orchestrated $1.2 billion healthcare fraud. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, we actually have a story to go along with this one. Wow.
Our society's from. We rely on you. Our best form of information is the American public. Take a look at this top 10 most wanted. Let us know any information. There is no bad piece of information. The only bad piece of information is the one you don't give us. So call 1-800-CALL-FBI or go to FBI.gov and help us apprehend more fraudsters. The last thing I want to talk about is the work of the FBI.
Get more fraudsters. Yeah. A year in jail tops. He needs to pick the correct PAC to donate to. How many fraudsters has Trump pardoned? Oh, okay, whatever. Are you angry enough yet? Brett Baer speaks with Patrick Bet-David on the PBD podcast and tells him what's actually happened when he spoke to Carr Sturmer about the rape gangs. So this is what he said. He's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
If you look at this report, the extent of it, to your point, is massive. If they estimate that 40% of all the local districts in the UK had some incident. That's crazy. If you think about every 40%, 149 local authority districts, 40% of all districts across the United Kingdom. And it goes on to say that the police forces, social services, National Health Service, licensing authorities all failed the victims. So when Elon Musk first got onto this, it coincided with the British Prime Minister being in town, and I had an interview with Keir Starmer at the Blair House, and I had a whole list of questions about the tariffs and the relationship with the U.S. And I went
Get to the
through all
point.
that.
Get to the point.
But I asked him specifically about this charge by Elon Musk about these rape gangs and how serious it was, and he said, "Oh, I've seen this. You know, we were investigating it. I think it's overblown." I mean, that was the messaging, was that it's
overblown. It's overblown. That's the messaging. Check this out. Another historic church is burned down and collapsed. This church was built in 1853. In front of the building, there was a sign that said, "Don't worry, the steeple is safe." They were trying to restore it, see? "Don't worry, the steeple is safe. Join us." Yes. Yes, we're going to see. The steeple's safe. Don't worry. Don't worry. You got to turn down the volume a little bit because it's loud. Yeah. Wow, it fell down.
Yeah, it fell. Now everyone's running away.
Yeah. Who's burning down all these churches? A rose is a rose by any other names. Baseball will soon be the Revenge of the Nerds movie where a gay guy, Lamar, throws the floppy spear. Yeah. National Guard are surging across the Lincoln reflecting pool after leftist psycho ripped up the blue ceiling off the bottom to try to make President Trump look bad. Why do the demon rats prefer filth and dilapidation? It is a good question. Look what they did. Look what they did to my beautiful pool. Look how they massacred my beautiful pool. Right, anything to make Trump look bad. That's all they're trying to do. That's all they're trying to do. Anything to make Trump look bad. Anything to make Trump look bad. Sabotage, pool man arrested. We saw this one already. Last night, U.S. Parks detained a suspicious man carrying a pitchfork and a bucket around the Lincoln Memorial Pool. It's unclear what the man was planning on doing. This came shortly after the 8647 inscription was discovered. I reached out to the Park Service for a comment. Haven't heard back. What was the guy doing with a pitchfork? They're probably going to have to drain the water out. They're probably going to have to drain the water out to fix it. You know, but it should have been they should have, I don't know. They should have fixed it. What happened to the reflecting pool? They've been damaging it. People have been dumping fertilizer and chemicals in it to make the algae come back. They found super high phosphate levels, which are from the fertilizers. They've been scraping it off. They can wall that section off. Well, they can. Yeah, they can wall it off and not drain it and just drain that section out to fix it. They can. Baby roof? Yeah, they found a baby roof bar. Was he spearfishing? Maybe. Why are they blurring his face out? I want to know who he is. I want to identify him. That's what I want to know. They're investigating the 8647. Got this story here, the Bonta files. California Attorney General Rob Bonta spent $500,000 of campaign funds on lawyers to navigate the active FBI public corruption investigation tied directly to his major donors. Make his ass fix it. There you go. These donors, the DeWong family, crime family of California Waste Solutions, are now federally indicted alongside former Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao over charges of bribery, conspiracy, mail, and wire fraud. Bonta accepted over $155K from them and their associates. When the raids hit in June 2024, he returned the money out of an abundance of caution. His campaign then burned through $469,000 on one of the most expensive law firms in the state. Dong, it's pronounced Dong, not Duong. Disgraced political operative Mario Juarez sent Bonta a letter warning him that Andy Dong possessed a compromising video of the attorney general and had a pattern of secretly recording elected officials for blackmail. Bonta's campaign spent hundreds of thousands more in legal fees after that letter surfaced. Uh-oh. Skedios. Oh, we got a $25 Cash App payment from Shelly. Says, closer camera for Bella. I lost my dog. I love dogs. Well, thank you. That means we are now $75 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. And closer camera for Bella. I'll get it as close as I can. I mean, you can't really, I don't know how much more I can zoom in. I mean, that's about as close as I can get it without, really getting her off camera. But thank you for the 25. Long Dong, pure corruption. I unblocked 500 people today. Well, that's good. Thank you all. Thank you so much. That's great. Was that you? I can't remember if that's you or not. 40 is too long. This is the same Bonta who, as an assembly member, personally intervened to secure a $3.4 million state grant for Veritas Fuels, a failed biofuel company run by donor Mario Juarez, the man with tax liens, a surrendered real estate license, and a history of stiffing business partners. Last thing I'll say about Iran is give the MOU a chance. Is this going to work? Most likely, but it expires in 60 to 90 days. We can always revisit after the midterms. Yeah, I think maybe this is possible that Trump was just trying to push it out past the midterms and not have active stuff going on in the hopes that, whatever happens with Congress happens and it doesn't affect him. Who flung poo? Could be. That's who these people are. They're all flinging poo around. They can get on you, show me the way every day. The same address later became his wife's campaign headquarters. Bonta built a sophisticated pipeline that directed $517,000 in corporate behested payments and direct campaign funds into nonprofits that employed and paid his wife six-figure salaries. What is the MOU? The Memorandum of Understanding between Iran and the U.S. He created his own foundation, took behested money from lobbyists into it, then moved $25,000 to his wife's organization while initially trying to hide the transfer as a loan. He positioned himself as a national leader on data privacy, suing companies for smaller violations. His Department of Justice leaked the full personal data of more than 240,000 Californians who had concealed carry permits. It gave out their names, their license, their date of birth, their license numbers. The independent review called it a catastrophic institutional failure. The breach happened days after Supreme Court's Bruin decision at a time when Bonta was publicly furious about the ruling. So I think he did it on purpose. He's used the Attorney General's office to manipulate ballot language against tough on crime measures that later passed with 70% of the vote, lost a 6-3 Supreme Court case for violating First Amendment donor privacy rights, and allowed foreign linked money to influence high profile litigation he then personally championed for political gain. Rob Bonta is not the people's lawyer. He's a compromise operator who has used the most powerful law enforcement position in America's largest state to protect his donor network, enrich his family, and shield himself. Yeah, this is him with the dong guy. This is Bonta and his dong. Right there. That's Bonta dong. Every fact above is documented in IRS forms. Read it in the Bonta files. The Bonta files. The Ninth Circuit just blocked the enforcement of multiple provisions in Gavin Newsom's California law that would hide transgender transition. You should look at what Antifa did to Portland to a Patriot car. Nico is her name. It's terrible. Show what happens when your cops work for politicians, not the public. Is that you're talking about? They spray painted her car and knocked the windows out? Is that the one? I think I saw it somewhere. Yeah. So even the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says that you can't hide information from parents when you're trying to trans their kids. Supreme Court recently stepped in, ruling for parents' rights.
Other breaking news, the Supreme Court has handed down a ruling temporarily blocking a California law preventing teachers from informing parents about their students' gender expression.
Now, the state policy was intended to protect trans minors from abuse at home or rejection, but it raised questions about if parents had a right to know if their child is going through gender transition at school. California argued that students have the right to privacy about their gender expression. In an unsigned order, the court found, quote, "We conclude that the parents who seek religious exemptions are likely to succeed on the merits of their free exercise clause claim." The California order comes months after the court upheld state bans on gender identity-related health care for minors.
Other breaking.
Wow. So that's good. I want to know if a town is in lockdown because of people going crazy. I heard about it. What? What are you talking about? A town on lockdown? Do you have any information? What's the name of the town? Where is it? Something I can search for? That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. Check this out. Yeah. M&Ms are set for an August launch for dye-free candies with 2 colors absence. Let's see. This is good. I want them to crack down on food dyes.
Dad's car has probably seen better days. This Father's Day, skip the tie and sock.
Okay, we have Dr. Mark Siegel, Fox News senior medical analyst here to weigh in and react to Kelly Saberi's good reporting there. Dr. Siegel, I don't know if I'm alone here, but I'm kind of stunned at how many products red dye number 3 is in. We saw candy canes, we saw brownies. I think those fruit cocktail also.
Those circus cookies, I like
on
those.
the table there. Yeah, it seems like it's everywhere. What do you make of this effort to ban these dyes from our food?
I think Kelly's first point is the most important, which is it's been out of cosmetics and skin creams since 1990s. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you let kids put it into their bodies, but you can't have it on a skin cream. That kind of hypocrisy is no good. Now, it's made from petroleum. As she said, in animal studies, it's linked to cancer, but more importantly, these dyes are also linked to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and we're worried about that. Multiple studies have shown that. It's not allowed in European Union, not allowed in the UK, and in addition to the states that she mentioned, Illinois and New York are getting rid of it too. I think it's got to go. I mean, you know why it's there. She said that also.
To make us buy the crap that's killing us.
Exactly. If you're a 6-year-old and you see something bright red, you're going to want to eat it, right?
It's part of the engineering process that goes into making our food desirable, and that's actually kind of part of a lawsuit that's filed out of Pennsylvania. We got a Pennsylvania teen who's suing some big food companies like Coca-Cola. He's alleging that their products have been specifically designed to be addictive and make you want to eat it more and more. But I says it also made him sick. He says he got diabetes. I mean, are you hearing about concerns from your patients about food being just uber processed and making them sick?
I love that, uber processed. Instead of ultra processed, we're going to
Uber. It's the next level.
Message to the Trump administration, uber processed. Listen, we talked about dyes, but now we're getting to the stuff that's really addictive, which is high fructose corn syrup. And all of these products have salt, and they all have sugar. Salt makes you want to eat it. It's very tasty. Not good for you, salt. Raises your blood pressure. Sugar, it can increase your weight and your risk of diabetes. I don't know about this lawsuit. You're the attorney, but I think that the points are correct.
If you have no salt at all in your diet, won't you die? Don't you need salt? Don't you need salt? You need salt. Diabetes, yeah. You need salt. Without salt, you would die. Salt and those minerals are what connects the, makes stuff. Look at the stock market. Why? Is something going on in the stock market? Yep, you have to have salt. That's what I thought. You just had some chocolate-covered pretzels. You love them? Yeah. Let's ban everything that we like because it's bad for us, they say. Yeah. At one time, salt cost more than gold. Yeah. Salt is needed, sugar no. In this video, 20,000. That's the NASDAQ. That's the NASDAQ, 20,000. That's the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ. I think this is just from today. What does it say? Anywhere say gold, oil prices anywhere? I think this is just from today. Any color M&Ms aren't healthful unless you are starving. You also need the iodine. Yeah, well, iodine, they added iodine because it helps prevent, like, it does something to prevent radiation from being absorbed into your thyroid, I believe. There's a Christmas tree in this video. Markets were closed today. Okay, so it's not today. I don't know when this video's from. All right. Never mind. We won't watch it then. M&M's will debut artificial dye-free candies in August and they make America healthy again compliant move after facing pressure from Robert F. Kennedy. Your goiter? Oh, because you have a goiter. Oh. But while the classic candy maker was able to use natural sources like beets and turmeric to replicate colors like red and yellow, shades of blue have proven considerably more difficult and expensive to recreate naturally. You get a disease without iodine? Goiter is caused by lack of iodine. Okay. Mars has been replicating blue and brown artificial coloring using spirulina extract, a concentrated blue-green algae powder. Oh! But the substance is prohibitively expensive. Turmeric, for example, is available in bulk from most wholesalers for the price of $9 to $11 a pound. Spirulina, by contrast, can be specifically more expensive. The raw supplement can cost $20 a pound at similar wholesalers, while the concentrated form most often used for food dyes is $100 a pound. Wow. They need to look into red beets to use as a food coloring. Well, that's what I think they're talking about. Hypothyroidism, the thyroid gland becomes underactive, producing a little too much thyroid hormone. Iodine was added to salt because the soil is lacking in it. Okay. Oh, we're not going to have any more blue M&Ms. Furthermore, spirulina's viscous nature has caused clogging in M&M's factory spray nozzles and created film buildups in manufacturing equipment, creating a potential safety and health hazard. Uh-oh. The high costs associated with mahifying its products have driven Mars into a colorful dilemma. Wanting to debut its altered product ahead of the company's 85th anniversary in August, Mars has spent millions in effort to find alternatives. Given the high costs of producing blue, Mars considered just rolling out 3-color mix of red, orange, yellow, but executives felt sunset vibes were too strong. Peanut M&Ms. The leader of the company's North American snack division told the Journal that replacement efforts was a daunting situation. You're messing with an 85-year-old icon. Well, like 50% of the people had enlarged thyroid glands, so they started adding it to salt. But thanks to Kennedy's push to pressure companies to ditch artificial materials, Mars again announced in 2025 they would be pivoting to natural dye options. Our M&Ms are going to look like dirt now. I don't care as long as they taste good. I don't care what the fuck they look like. Kennedy's frequently criticized using artificial dyes in U.S. foods. We need salt, but much of our fast food and other foods contain way too much salt. Salt was used to keep raw meat from going bad when we didn't have ice boxes and freezers. When we look at 9 specific food dyes, the science is clear. Undeniable link. Behavioral disruptions in our kids' long-term cancer risk. We're systematically clearing them out. West Virginia, take me home, became the first state to sign a law to ban the statewide sale of major artificial dyes. HHS added Mars to a list of 27 corporations that have pledged to remove the artificial dyes from certain products. Federally, his office has formally banned 4 petroleum-based artificial food dyes, revoking FDA authorization for brominated vegetable oil, red dye number 3, citrus red number 2, and orange B. Kennedy Jr. has also pushed hard to get companies to phase out 6 other dyes: red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, green 3. The once in a while I get Burger King, I have to sleep the rest of the day. A lot of heart patients get sick from lack of salt. His office has cited animal studies that link consumption to cancer. The FDA cited the Delaney Clause, a provision requiring the institution to prohibit a chemical if it's found to cause cancer in human or animals. After banning red dye number 3 in 2025, numerous long-term studies found a chemical linked to cancer development in rats. Rats. Fucking rats. Archaeologists discover mysteriously marked ancient artifacts under Notre Dame Cathedral, the dig of the century. They were hiding it under the cathedral. Bits of history of Paris are emerging from the ground beneath the Notre Dame. I think they call it Notre Dame. We call it Notre Dame. Medieval mystery. The project began when Notre Dame was struck by fire. Hey, look at that. Another fire. Bromine competes with iodine when eating, causing iodine deficiency. Still need to ban fluoride. Yeah. There's no reason. I don't think there's any reason to have fluoride in water. Just have everybody use fluoride toothpaste if you want it and spit it out. Life is old there, older than the trees. I can feel it in the trees. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the water. Jay, what's up, Levy? How you doing, man? Good to see you. The reason for all the non-toxins and pure health now is our government made a deal with the aliens. They will help lower the population, but the meat has to be free of toxins and natural. What? It's a rare opportunity for us to work on something that's tangibly going to make a difference to the history of Paris, says Lucy Altenberg, a conservator with the Paris Archaeology Unit. A 1,700-year-old Roman coin stamped with the face of Emperor Constantine has been found, as have fragments of medieval pottery with marks no one has yet interpreted. It makes Notre Dame feel alive again. You come to see cathedral, then realize there's another city under your feet. It's almost moving. The dig has gone down 13 feet. It's reached cellars of the houses that surrounded the cathedral when it was built in 1163. And further down into the past. Here you can see the layers. Medieval Paris, Roman Paris, maybe even before that. It makes the city feel less like a postcard and more like something still being discovered. Isn't bromide what makes bagels so chewy? Yeah, brominated flour, something like that. Absolutely love John Denver. I spent many summers in Telluride before it went woke. I missed it so bad. Medieval latrines, which doubled as garbage dumps, have yielded broken pottery as well as whole items. It's rare to find complete ceramics, guy said. Look at that steak. That's a mighty big ribeye, ain't it? Dig of the century beneath Notre Dame reveals mysterious markings and all types of stuff. Look at that. Oh. I use Boca toothpaste, zero problems since I started using it. Rebuilds your enamel. Love it. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that. I use something like my dentist gave me something called I can't even think of the name of it, but it's like made by like 3M. It's like 1.5% or something. It's like 5% or something like super high strength fluoride. Fluoride, rock that floweth like water. I don't know, but you're just supposed to leave it on your teeth. You're not supposed to swallow it or anything. And you do it, and it's supposed to rebuild your enamel. So, yeah. So, multiple bits of pottery with the same faint reddish writing painted on the inside, but no one knows what the markings mean. Brelot called the mysterious shards astonishing. Today's short blew up, almost 1,000 views. Wow. That's the Greek or Latin, probably. Objects such as the Roman coin can be invaluable in giving us the date of the underground layer. Rebuilds enamel. That's what my dentist says. Supposedly rebuilds the enamel. Hydroxypetate test. Okay. The hope is that we're able to go back in time even further than we've been before. Go back in time, back in time. Hugo Candor says that the items being found have a high value beyond the materials. Well, they aren't treasures. They're like gold ingots, but each item has great scientific value. Then you drink hot water and it melts off your teeth and goes into your stomach. Oh. When we come across complete objects like this medieval pitcher or this candlestick, the type of artifact allows us to reconstruct daily lives. Oh, that's crazy. Crazy talk. We got this right here. Is interesting. Look at this. Breaking news. The California Public Utility Commission is forcing providers into its unconstitutional supplier diversity program. We talked about this the other day. They have like this gay checklist for people. Mm-hmm. We're going to confront these programs.
I'm going to break some news for you here, Todd. I just sent a letter in the last few minutes to all the commissioners of California's Public Utilities Commission, warning them that the supplier diversity program that they're forcing down the throats of California's public utilities providers is unconstitutional, and that private parties could sue them for that, such as potential vendors to public utilities that are not selected for contracts because they don't check the boxes of the protected categories that they're trying to favor. And of course, the United States Department of Justice, if the Attorney General certifies that the case is in the national interest, could unleash me on the Public Utilities Commission and on companies that are violating the civil rights of potential suppliers in their state. I'm going to break some news for you.
Wow, that's interesting. Going to get your first tattoo this weekend, skull and crossbones with I was kind of scared. Well, I don't know. Tattoos, it's painful. I watched the Hoover Boys Metal Detectorists. Cool. Fluoride causes bones to be more brittle and fracture more easily. Really? The Velvet Mafia. Cool. Look at these people. It's crazy. It's crazy what they're doing. Yeah. Sorry to be such a nag, but our state sucks. Here's good public links for X calling it out. There's a teen boy on puberty blockers goes to a urologist because he was wetting his pants in class. All right. His pee was strawberry colored from blood and skin flakes. What? The boy and his mom asked if the incontinence in blood and the urine might be side effects. The transition-friendly urologist says, nah, you have a tattoo? I have several. Mm-hmm. And he said, the problem is you're holding your pee too much. A few months after stopping the puberty blockers, the boy stopped peeing blood. The urologist was charged this year for having thousands of pornographic pictures of children. Look at this. Dr. Schumer said the symptoms not this. He was dealing with the incontinence. He visited Dr. Stack. He didn't give me any useful advice or prescription. I do not believe that issues of bathroom use at school caused my incontinence. Later, I read he was arraigned on 6 felony charges related to possession of child sexual abuse of material. Here he is. Former Toledo pediatrician urologist pleads not guilty to federal child porn charges. Well, hopefully he gets the wood chipper. Oh, this is crazy stuff. This is from the lawsuit filed yesterday against the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. They're suing these people. Good. That's what needs to happen. Sue the shit out of them for trying to trans the kids. Oh, here's another one. Look at this. Drag queen Travis Longo arrested in New York after engaging in sexually explicit communication with a child under the age of 12. Yeah, weird story, right? Weird story. They're suing the doctor. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy talk, man. Crazy talk. Look at. Yeah, this is But they want you to, they want you, see? This person, I need to learn about pangolins. Why are you learning about pangolins, right? I just want to read some books of some chicks. Yeah. Crazy story. Another one. Another crazy story. FBI and ICE arrested criminal illegal alien who flew a drone in restricted FIFA airspace. Lorenzo Rojas Martinez, criminal illegal alien from Mexico. Uh-oh. That's gross, right? Sickos. Yeah. They must stop the trans. They confronted this guy. He's been charged with operating a drone in a temporary tight restriction zone. Twice deported illegal immigrant arrested for flying a drone. So he's twice deported. So that means he's a felon. Twice deported means he's a felon for coming back. He should have been a felony in jail for doing it the first time. Now we got this. If you guys want to watch this, it says, surveillance footage shows the moment Carmelo Anthony fatally stabs Austin Metcalf and runs away. A judge released evidence in the Carmelo Anthony murder case on Friday. The evidence includes the body cam footage. Hey, court watcher Denise, how you doing, man? Great to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. Photos of Carmelo Anthony's backpack, the murder weapon, and the aftermath of the murder case is revealed. Wow. There's the murder weapon. Well, there's the murder weapon.
Hold on.
It's the body cam footage.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443. I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? Oh, look here.
Hey, what's up, Coney?
4-4, copy. I'll be in route. Help me. Y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Come over here. I'm going to put your handcuffs for now, okay? Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspects detained in handcuffs.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's gonna be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there. This is the alleged suspect. All right. Okay.
He just said, I'm not alleged. I did it.
What's being done?
All right. So I don't know how much what's being done to watch. It's just him getting arrested and stuff.
K-A-R-M-E-L-O. Carmelo. What's your last name? A-N-T-H-O-N-Y. We're ready. You win. I'm in 10th grade. You go to Emerson? No, sir. Where do you go? Centennial. Okay. I'm in 12th grade. 12th grade? Yes, okay.
12th grade. All right. So let's see. There's the knife. This is where it happened, I guess, where they had their things there. The knife. That's where he threw the knife on the ground up there. And this is his backpack that he had the knife in. Oh, look, it's got a nice sword on his backpack to show there was a gun in there, or a knife in there. See, he's got a sword on it. Judge Roach tells you release the evidence because I understood the public's desire to know what happened. Cleat clear versus deadly weapon. Yeah, I mean, if it was a cleat clearer, that would have been a different story, but it wasn't a cleat clearer. So grainy surveillance video release shows the moment he stabbed him. You guys want to watch the surveillance video?
I probably shouldn't say this, but
Don't say it.
charge people over
Well, you're a
$1,000
crook. Stop
to
ripping
fix
people
this
off.
exact kind of scratch.
I mean, I don't know. I see the tent maybe right there. Oh, did it look like somebody just went boom and hit somebody? No. I'm looking. I don't see nothing. Can you make it out? Anyone make it out? It's just, I guess it's here and the left. I can't make anything out there. Can you guys make anything out? You can't see it. Absolutely heartbreaking. It is. It is. And, you know, I know a lot of people in my chat probably aren't going to want to hear this, but it's heartbreaking for both families. It really is. I mean, put aside the stupid shit that guy said, the advocate for the family. I mean, I don't know. I've heard like this kid had like, did this kid really have a really good grade point average and work 2 jobs and all this stuff and had a mom and dad in the house and everything? Like, I don't know, but you know, it's he did stab him and kill him. He's got to pay for the crime, but it's, you know, do you think he will survive prison? I probably. I mean, they'll keep him somewhere. It's good that the judge released the videos. Many people were making up stories about the videos. Yeah. Oh, this is a murderer, got 35 years, out in 17, 3.7 GPA. Yeah. The advocate for the family is a horrible person. I would never have him. Yeah, the advocate for the family didn't do the family any good. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if maybe that's who advised them on how to handle this and what to do. And like this, if the kid would have came forward and been like, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. I overreacted. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anything like that. And they wouldn't have went this way where to get this guy out there claiming that this was about race and all this other shit. Like, he might have got a manslaughter beef. You know what I mean? It might have got knocked down. They probably could have pled it down. Who knows? I don't know. Because it seems like even that before all the shit that happened with the advocate and stuff, you know, but before all the shit that happened with the advocate and everything and the family, what they did to the guy, like the family would have been okay with a manslaughter charge. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the evidence either. So, you know what I'm saying? His rap sheet alone was wild. Yeah. He said it was justified. Well, I mean, if he would have just pushed him back instead of, you know, like he touched him, pushed him to whatever, if he would have pushed him back or punched him or did something like that, non-lethal force, that would have been justified. But the fact that he used a knife is what made it unjustified. Yeah. What I've been saying is this was not a trial about race. However, they made it about race. Yeah, they did. They made it about race. The advocate made it about race. Like if the family was smart, they would get the fuck away from that advocate as fast as possible and try to basically, I don't know, if they're going to try to file an appeal, the best bet. I mean, this is just me saying like what my advice would be to that family right now, because that's their kid and they want to help their kid or whatever like that. Get a different attorney's claim that the attorneys were working with this advocate, something. I don't know, that it was improper or something. He should have testified on his own behalf. Not testifying in a case like this, there's no way you're going to get any type of sway from the jury at all. 2 egos, 1 moment, 2 tragedies. The cost of losing control is often permanent. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a reminder that impulse, pride, and lack of discipline can turn a moment into a lifetime of consequences. Yeah. He's gonna pay. He's gonna pay for the crime. He did the crime. He's gonna have to do the time. That's the way it works. Maybe the appeals court finds the sentence to be wrong and gives him 99 years he deserves. I don't know. I don't know if they can do that. I mean, I guess if they do give a new trial, like if they say you have to have a new trial because of whatever, they can end up giving them more time in a new trial. If you're grifting, there's no need to distance yourself. You talking to me? Oh, you're talking to the family if they're grifting. No real penalty for murder. Yeah. He didn't say anything or show any kind of emotion during the victim statement until his own sentencing. He probably never seen anyone executed. Like, who knows? Maybe he thought, like, when he stabbed him that he wasn't, like it was just going to, maybe he didn't think it was going to, like it wasn't really going to hurt him. Like thought it was like in the movies or something when people get stabbed and they just keep fighting and he stabs. So he's like, oh, just, I don't know. I don't know what he thought by doing it. Even once his own interest to show remorse, he could not until the exact moment the consequence were laid on him. Yeah. The state can appeal the sentence. I don't think the state can appeal the sentence because the jury, I think, awarded it. Didn't the jury give the sentence? I'm not making excuses for the kid at all. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that it's a tragedy because on both accounts, he made the mistake. He has to pay for it. But any time, 17, 18, 19-year-old kid's going to spend 20, 30 years in prison, that's fucked up that they made the mistake to do it. One family has but his family at least can still see him and go see him. His family can still he's going to come home. At 17, I wasn't a kid. At 17, I was in the Navy. So you're not making any arguments there. I don't know. I don't see anything on this video. I'm looking. It just looks like a blob to me. Wow. Oh, wait. I think I just stand it right there. All right. Just looked like a flash of motion. There he goes running away. All right. I don't know. Wow, it's that thing tracked him down. Young man I was. We grew up in the Bay Area. We had about 2 to 3 executions a month at San Quentin across the Bay. That's funny. I was 117 and didn't lose control at the way where's the mistake? I didn't know shoving that knife in another human could kill him. At 17, I was in the Army, so spare me. I'm not, I don't know. I'm saying, don't be naive, Jim. He was carrying a knife for a reason. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm a big softy. I don't know. Latest U.S. strike on drug boats kills 3 in the Eastern Pacific. Wow. Amazing.
Download Vinted.
Got Senator Kane.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Hurst, I want you to just confirm something for me about the president's submitted budget. $1.5 trillion is about a 40+% increase from FY26. Am I right that not a penny of that is to go to a pay raise for the 800,000 civilians who work for the Department of Defense?
We have 4.2% of a civilian salary set aside for bonuses to make sure we can recognize high performers in the civilian workforce.
But you have guaranteed pay raises for the active duty and the Guard and Reserve component, but no guaranteed raises for
There are guaranteed
civilians.
raises for the military, but in the last year, this department's given out more civilian bonuses.
Well, if we're going to increase the defense budget by that much, I would hope the committee would take a look at this. Chairman Kane.
Oh, he wants to give he wants to give the raises to the civilians, not the active and reserve military. Oh, okay, Dick.
Man, I like the sound of that, Chairman Kane. General Kane, I want to ask you a question about Southern Spear. It's an operational question. I know from your background that you carefully act to keep military actions within the rules of war. What legal justification could there possibly be that would allow the U.S. military to strike boats in international waters and kill the occupants of those boats without a showing of evidence that there's narcotics on those boats?
Well, sir, as you know, our job is to show the range of options, the associated risks, and then take those execution orders, transmit them down to the COCOMs on legally appropriate and legally backstopped actions.
Could you give me a legal justification?
Well, sir, the execution order, I don't have
striking boats that do not have evidence that they're.
They know they have drugs on them. This fucking idiot. So yeah, because So the U.S. military attacked a boat smuggling drugs in the Pacific on Thursday, killing 3 people. The latest attack brings the number of people who've been killed to 211. As with most military statements on the strikes, the Pacific Ocean, Caribbean Sea, Southern Command said that it was translating along known narco trafficking routes. The military did not provide evidence that the vessel was ferrying drugs. It's probably on video. You can see it. I mean, you can see the fucking drugs on the boats. What are these people talking about? They have a video. They have videos of it. I thought the tragedy is when someone dies due to their own fatal character flaw. No, what do you mean? No. I mean, Austin Metcalf being dead is a tragedy for his family. What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with any character flaw. I don't know what his character flaw was. He was told a bunch of people told the kid to leave. The kid wouldn't leave. He was to get the people out. There was a whole back and forth. I mean, from what I'm hearing, I mean, the character flaw was the other kid probably who refused to just do what any normal person would do when someone tells them to leave, to just leave. I don't know. I mean, if you're somewhere and someone tells you to leave, why just go, okay, and leave? I don't know. Unless you want to fight or you want something to happen. I don't know. I mean, that's questions I would like. I would like to hear, whatever Carmelo Anthony answer the question, why didn't you just leave? When they asked you for what reason, they were disrespecting you. You felt disrespected. You didn't want to be a pussy. What made you say, no, fuck you, I ain't leaving? Trump has said that the U.S. is in armed conflicts with the cartels. We designate them terrorist organizations. I mean, the United States has a long history of blowing up terrorists. So killing the business workers is easy. Whoever Petro is. Oh, the Colombian president who's connected to the drug cartels. So whatever. So, legal scholars said the second strike would not have been legal. He didn't leave because he had the knife. Well, that's possible. Why? It could be a good reason, but not a good reason, but the tragedy is that Eisenhower sent men with bayonets to point their rifles at American women and children to require every American family to put their children at risk of being stabbed to death at school. Oof. Okay, now I get it, Coney. Wow. He wasn't afraid. No, it doesn't seem like it. Taking a life for being pushed is wrong no matter what anyone says. Oh, no, it's wrong. No. I was never saying it wasn't wrong what he did. Don't get me wrong. Bella, what you doing, icky Mitch girl? In my opinion, the other team is never invited into your locker room during halftime. This is what happens in our society when it releases all of its prisoners and the prisons become the outside. Yeah, it's Bella, what are you doing, man? What is wrong with you? She gets in this thing where she starts itching, and it's like a cycle where it just keeps going until I have to just basically yell at her to stop. So we struck another boat. Then we got this, man, from Jesse Waters says, Trump's Iran deal is in immediate effect. The Tehran just invited us to inspect its nuclear stockpiles. I didn't hear this anywhere else. Anyone else hear this? That they invited us to inspect their nuclear stockpiles? The White House is declaring Iran's nuclear program dead. The Strait of Hormuz is open. J.D. Vance sent a startling warning to Israel. America First says, take it easy on Jim. He has to walk a fine line. I don't have to walk a fine line. I'm just saying, like, now that thank you so much. Now that the case is over and he's been sentenced to prison and everything, you can look at it like my family member wasn't killed. My family member or someone I love and care about wasn't killed, or so now I'm looking at it and saying, like, how did this happen? How could it be prevented? Is the answer just segregation? No. That's all. Thank you for the 5. That means we're now 70 away from a second first hour. Your dog Scratch does that with the licking. Yeah, it gets crazy. Just keep going and going and going. Oh, okay. Here we go. So called Sympathy for the Devil. Oof. Evil depends on weak people for survival. Wow. Wow. Maybe I shouldn't have smoked that weed today. Does Bella get in the pool? Just in the like beach area in the pool. She doesn't go in the. She doesn't go in like doesn't like dive in or anything like that. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see.
Fox News alert: the Iran deal is now in immediate effect. Both sides have signed. Trump did it over lobster and caviar at Versailles, and the gay Ayatollah had his number 2 use an auto pen. So, one day in, how's it looking?
I think the president's peace plan in Iran is already bearing real fruits for the American people. Last night, 12.5 million barrels of oil went through the Strait of Hormuz. That is a high since the beginning of the conflict. On the military side, the Iranians, for the second night in a row, did not shoot at any ships in the Strait of Hormuz.
CENTCOM lifted the blockade, and the first ships to set sail were 3 Saudi supertankers. The price of oil is now in the 70s, same as it was before the war. And gas just fell under $4 a gallon. POTUS said, told you so.
I just do want to say, though, the stock market just hit a new all-time high. The 401ks just hit a new all-time high, and oil is dropping like a rock. Other than that, it's another day in paradise.
It could be paradise for Iran, too, just without the virgins. If they behave and follow through on the deal, we'll open Iran for business.
There is a great desire from the Arab world and from outside the Arab world to actually get involved in Iran if they behave properly. If you behave, and if the Emiratis themselves want to build a power plant, then we will do the sanctions relief necessary to make that possible. A world where the Gulf Coast Coalition has greater leverage into the Iranian economy is a world where the Iranians are going to be heavily prevented from misbehaving.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's what they say. So, Iran. I want to see Iran.
And this just in. Witkoff just briefed Congress that Iran's inviting the International Atomic Energy Agency to come inspect its nuclear sites and uncover the enriched material. This is big. The Iranians have also agreed that U.S. nuclear inspectors would be allowed into the country.
Well, that's big news. That's big news. And then we got this news. Where is it? Here. Jared Kushner's in Switzerland. Steve Witkoff en route for delayed Iran talks. Witkoff has departed the United States for Switzerland to engage in talks with Iranian leaders on Saturday. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is planning to travel to Switzerland on Saturday, according to a source with knowledge. My vet has given me 1 Zyrtec for itching during ragweed season. It can be repeated every 12 hours for itching. I'll have to ask if that he could take that, if Bella could take that, if I can get it. Your Jake loves to swim with the kids. Dogs are so great. Yeah. What was the point of all this shit? They still have underground bunkers that will hide from inspectors just like before. Supposedly we blew them up. I don't know. Supposedly we blew them up. I don't know. Supposedly they're buried. I don't know. So yeah, Steve Witkoff's on his way too. JD Vance who was leading the talks, canceled his plans to go to Switzerland. It's unclear whether Vance will be in Switzerland for negotiations this weekend. So both Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a renewed ceasefire. Representatives for Israel and Lebanon are expected to hold talks in the U.S. next week. Bella looks raw. Yeah, she keeps her paws, man. It's something about the grass. Her paws, something with the grass, the type of grass or whatever it is, really affects the dog I had before Bella had the same issues with their paws all the time. So that's good. So they're traveling there. Then we got this story. First trans New Hampshire state rep sentenced to 33 years in prison for child sex crimes. Yep, this thing. Gas down to $3.50 in Southwest Ohio was at a high of $4.99. Well, that's awesome, Kimmy. That's down. A trans-identifying male who's the first openly trans person elected to state legislature has been sentenced to 33 years in prison. Stacey Marie Lawton, born Barry Charles Lawton, was sentenced while Lindsey Groves, Lawton's former partner, was sentenced to 22 years. Lawton was the first elected Democrat representative in New Hampshire. Was first elected as a Democrat rep in New Hampshire and the first elected to the role. Ultimately withdrew from the role before officially taking office, as it was revealed he had served 4 months in prison for felony fraud charges. He ultimately ended up winning and serving in the state legislature between 2020 and 2022. Wait, what a minute? Wait, what the fuck is this I'm reading here? Hold on, this is Barry Charles Lawton was sentenced on Tuesday, while Lindsey Groves, Lawton's former partner, was sentenced to 22 years. Lawton was first elected as a Democrat representative in New Hampshire and was first elected to the role in 2012. He ultimately withdrew from the role before officially taking office, as it was revealed he had served 4 months in prison on felony fraud charges. He ultimately ended up winning and serving the state legislature between 2020 and 2022. I was trying to figure out what they were talking about. Like, wait, why? So he was already a convicted felon and he had to withdraw because of it, but then they elected him anyway after they knew about it. He was first charged in 2023 after a report was given to the Nashua Police Department that Lawton had sent child sex abuse images to another person who brought the images to police. Police confirmed that Lawton had sent 4 images over text messages. Lawton admitted to receiving images from Groves, who had been an employee of Creative Minds Early Learning Center. Groves admitted to police that she took the images and said it was after Lawton, who expressed a sexual interest in the children, had asked her to. Elected a pedo, they sure did. 100% of the trans New Hampshire legislatures in history are sex offenders. Snopes raised this training as clue. On a note is that Muttabi Kanemi, who may be unconstitutional supreme leader, he was never an Ayatollah and must be a grand Ayatollah to be supreme leader. May not be able to sign official anything. Huh. I mean, does that matter, though, for them? Through a search warrant, authorities found 10,000 messages exchanged between the two. Explicit discussion of sex abuse of children. Groves has taken images of children at her job and sent them to Lawton, including images of children as young as 3. Groves has told the young children to expose their genitals for the camera, with photos being taken during bathroom breaks. Why is this? What happened to this person? I mean, even the article can't get the pronouns straight. I don't get it. The other day, before the duo's arrest, Groves sent Lawton a photo of a girl and a boy, both 3 years old. I took these photos for you today, so oh my God. I would like to see more of that. Is that one of the girls we get to play with? Groves claimed the victim gave her an issue. I can't even read this. I can't even read this. This is so disgusting. This is disgusting. This is fucking disgusting. It's just a bummer they won't let me inside of her, and the female victim was not even 3 yet. A separate set of messages sent the following day. I am sorry I talk so much, but the other thing about is, do you think God is okay with us being bad girls? These are not girls. No, wood chipper. No, you're not. Don't be. I'm not. Don't. I'm saying wood chipper feedstock. No, I'm not. I wasn't talking about this, McIver. I'm talking about this article. It's fucking disgusting. I agree with you. Wood chipper, definitely. He added, some people will say having sex with kids is a bad thing and God never addresses sex with children in the Bible. So is he going to a woman's prison? Probably. Happy Pride Month, sponsored by your large corporations and government. You ain't kidding, man. Layton's defense sought a sentence of just over 17 years, claiming their client was a complex 42-year-old woman and an ordained minister who championed civil rights, including transgender rights. Ugh. I can't, man. This is fucking gross. We got this story. An Oaxaca mayor shot dead inside his home weeks after seeking protection from state authorities. Nearly 100 mayors have been killed in Mexico over the past 2 decades. See, this is when I was telling you why Mexico, what's going on with Mexico is crazy, because they're just wiping them out. Just wiping them out. A municipal mayor in southern Mexico was killed over the weekend after armed men forced their way into his home. Joel Angel Bravo Martinez. Yes, he sought help from state authorities and they denied it. Local reporting said multiple armed individuals entered the residence. The Attorney General's office said it opened an investigation. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to go well. Authorities said additional security forces were mobilized following the killing. Yeah, that's kind of like closing the barn door after the horses get out. Guess we have a new jet coming, the F-47. Yeah. No arrests been reported. Joel Bravo warned that he feared for his life. The government didn't protect him. According to the information, Bravo was promised bodyguards. Oh, he was promised bodyguards. Oh, did he get them? No. No, didn't get no bodyguards. No, didn't get none. Didn't get none. Wow. So that's what's going on in Mexico. That's crazy. That's crazy. Killing mayors and stuff. I hate this stuff. So many degenerates. Yeah. Well, everybody, it doesn't look like we're going to hit the goal tonight. We're still 70 away. So it looks like more than likely I'm going to go over to the FFS channel and join Cynic on his show for a little while. If you guys want to join over there in the chat and hang out or something. If you're on Rumble, I'm going to send you to watch it on the Rumble channel over there. But I want to thank everybody who was here. Enjoy your Friday night. Oh, shoot. What? We're still 70. Yeah, it's okay. I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Tomorrow, Saturday's show might be a little later. What's the site? It's FFS Cast. It's going to redirect you automatically over there. It's going to send you right over there automatically. But I want to thank everybody who's here. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think it'll be 7. It'll probably be like 8 or 9, maybe 10 tomorrow night, because Saturdays I try to do more stuff with the family and then get on a little later. But I want to thank everybody who's here. Please remind you all to hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.